gentlemen, the winner of this contest.
I look and see it's not just me.
Jack, why do you insist on doing this dumb internet shit on TV?
I look and see it's not just me.
This place is a fucking joke, man. You're a clown. I quit.
So many of us have stood where I stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. So many of us have stood where I stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. They call us problem child. We spend our lives on trial. We walk an endless mile. We are the youth gone wild. We stand and we won't fall. We're one and one for all. The writing's on the wall. We are the youth gone wild.
No. It doesn't make logical sense, but it makes.
Well, yes, of course.
But it makes wrestling booking sense. Of course, this makes no sense. Of course, okay, it makes no sense. However, in pro wrestling booking, which often makes no sense, you would do that. It's about making money. It's not about anything else. Wrestling's always been about making money first and foremost. That's it.
Yes, I look and see it's not just me.
Last weekend was the greatest weekend in AEW history. This is the greatest week.
I look and see it's not just me.
My security, my safety, my life was in danger at a wrestling show.
So many of us have stood where I stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. So many of us have stood where I stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. They call us problem child. We spend our lives on trial. We walk an endless mile. We are the youth gone wild. We stand and we won't fall. We're one and one for all. The writing's on the wall. We are the youth gone wild. They call us problem child. We spend our lives on trial. We walk an endless mile. We are the youth gone wild. We stand and we won't fall. We're one and one for all. The writing's on the wall. We are the youth gone wild. Get wild! Yeah!
If you're familiar with how we do things often here on these Wednesdays, it's a lot like one of my favorite movies, Time Cop.
What? Fuck you. Fuck you.
Yeah!
Yeah!
Every booking is golden, you see. Perfect cards crafted for you and me. Yeah, the best guy's Tony Khan, it's true. Triple cup, best damn booker in the land. 3 red cups stacked up, always in command. Triple cup, living legend of the fight. Just a call away from making it right. Never see him back hard, no way. Got the whole roster locked in for the day. A Crimson Tower, modern art. Triple cup. Triple cup. Every booking is golden, you see. Perfect cards crafted for you and me. Yeah, the best guy's Tony Khan, it's true. Triple cup. Best damn booker in the land. 3 red cups stacked up, always in command. Triple cup. Living legend of the fight. Just a call away from making it right. Never see him back hard, no way. Got the whole roster locked in for the day. A Crimson Tower, modern art. Triple cup. Triple cup.
Ooh, what's happening, guys? Welcome to a special Thursday edition, which is, of course, an eclectic edition of PWT live show. Yeah. And I am your host, the infallible Phil Mark.
You fucking Mark!
And yeah, I'm back. I had the flu for a couple days, and it was not good. It's still not. I'm not 100%, but we're doing the damn thing. Ain't no rest for the wicked, as they say. But yeah, your boy Phil was a little vomitous and whatnot, so it wasn't good. But I'm doing good today. Today's been like my first good day in a couple days. Not to be a baby or anything like that, right? It's just a little flu. And I'm here. I've got some ginger ale to make the tummy feel good. Canada Dry, of course. We're Canada here, all right? And we and yeah, I'm excited. There's a lot to get to. We're going to do a few segments for sure. So much. And Dave Meltzer, Dumb Moment of the Week, I'm going to do tomorrow, guys. Saturday, I'm busy. It's Valentine's Day, so I'm going to be busy. And yeah, I hope you guys have all been good. I hope you guys watched Dynamite last night. A lot of people enjoyed that episode of Dynamite. I think they've had some better shows, but to sit there and rank it among like some of the best wrestling out there, I don't know about all that, or like wrestling shows out there rather. Some title switches. We're going to get into that. We're going to get into Dave Meltzer defending Tony Khan. Of course, we can't go with Dave. Dave's going to get roasted Thursday one way or the other, right? One way or the other. I'm going to find you. No, but Dave was sweeping for Tone, and then he got owned. And we're going to talk about that. WrestleMania 42 has low ticket sales. Apparently, they had an emergency meeting. There's a bunch of WWE tryouts, some indie names which we're familiar with, which we're going to go over. Logan Paul versus Tom Brady, Royce Keys' real age, everything, all of that, and more. Okay, this is great. This is PWT Live Show, and I'm glad that you're all here. Make sure you hit like, make sure you hit subscribe. Make sure you jump in on chat, super chat in, support the show, become a member. It's only 99 cents. I do bonus shows weekly as well. Okay. And Saturday, I don't know. I'll just pop on live like Sunday. So I'm going live today. I'll do Dave Friday. And then if I'm up to it, I'll pop on Sunday. We'll do a weekend show. But, I know here's the thing. Dave Meltzer's, the Wrestling Observer Awards come out tomorrow. So that's going to be hilarious. And there's a bonus Dave Meltzer Dumb Moment of the Week exclusive to Patreon, patreon.com/ProWrestleTimes. And there is another one coming. I just didn't upload it because I've been puking and shitting myself for 2 days. Yummy, right? It has been fucking brutal. But I'm good, though. Today's been my first, decent, good day in a couple or a few. And on Monday's show, I was feeling it, but it didn't I don't know. I was just babbling on Monday's member show. Make sure you become a member. I want to get right into things. I have some chats here. Ooh, look, it's me. I'm back from the dead, back like I never left. Ken Dudley for 8 says, here, buy some Dayquil. Thank you. I will do that. Appreciate that very, very, very much. Shout you out. Thank you for being here. Plenty and Pixel for 5 says contributing to the anti-sick fund. Yeah. No, it's all good. I mean, I got some soup. I have had some delicious soup and for the last couple days, and I'm feeling way better now. Just had to sleep, Sleep is the best thing. And I was watching, I finished Monarch, Legend of Monsters, and then, or I think that's what it's called, right? Legend of Monsters or Legend of the Monsters or whatever. And then I watched Godzilla, King of the Monsters, and then I watched Godzilla vs. King Kong the first hour, and then I had to turn it off because I was like, oh, I'm going to fall asleep. And yeah, I got that. And then I think New Empire left, and then I'm all caught up on the Monsterverse. And then February, some shit, Monarch season 2 comes out. So shout out anyone in the chat who likes Godzilla, Gojira, and fucking King Kong and all the kaijus and that shit. I'm really into that. So it's been awesome. So anyways, let's get into pro wrestling. Right? Enough of the kaiju battles. Let's get into the pro wrestling kaiju battles. Folks, it is time. And thanks everybody for being in chat and for the support. Of course, you guys can super chat in and whatnot, or hit like, subscribe. If you're on Twitter, heart, retweet. Those are all my plugs. Thanks, guys, so much. Round of applause for you all, of course. And let's get into stuff here. So it is time for miscellaneous news, which we do have quite a bit in there.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
Thomas Moore 9704, who's been a member for 8 months. Thank you, man. Isn't there a TNA pay-per-view this weekend? I honestly don't know, but I know that Tony Khan has a Saturday and Sunday show. It's great. So on Sunday, if I do a live, maybe we'll all I'll review the AEW Grand Slam Australia, and then we'll watch what is on Sunday. There's and I don't know if it's televised or on YouTube or what, but I saw it. There's a show called Aftermath or so. I just completely made that up, but it's in AEW news, I believe. But there's some matches on Sunday as well for AEW in Australia, and it's called something. We'll get to it. Okay, so let's get Godzilla. He's my favorite. I like Rodden. He's my favorite kaiju. It's great. So let's get into miscellaneous news, and one more time, let's run it back like Jey Uso in the Rumble.
Ladies
run it back and piss
gentlemen,
everyone off.
I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
So in MMA news, quickly, Dana White testified in the UFC antitrust lawsuit that he is no longer directly involved in UFC matchmaking or fighter contract negotiations. He said that since Hunter Campbell was hired, Sean Shelby, so that's 2016? Hunter Campbell was hired, 2017. So him, Sean Shelby, and Mick Maynard handled most fighter negotiations and matchmaking. When asked about his involvement, Dana answered, less than zero. You won't find one manager on this planet who will tell you I've negotiated a deal, and I don't know how long. So how crazy is that? He's literally just the face that runs the place. He's just the dude who's there to promote shit. But the problem is that all he does is just read stuff into his Instagram live. He could care less about it. He's way more locked into Zuffa boxing. And it's interesting to see if this affects TKO in any way overall. But yeah, he don't do shit. And he admitted it under oath now. Everyone sort of speculated that for a while. And in other MMA news, just because it made such crazy headlines, and then we're going to, get into more pro wrestling focused stuff. But an MMA fighter got jumped by the crowd after nearly biting his opponent's ear off. So Mike Tyson, of course. Mike Tyson is a WWE vet. Is Mike Tyson a Hall of Famer? Is Mike Tyson a WWE Hall of Famer? I completely forget. Yes, he is in the Hall of Fame. In 2012, he was inducted. So taking a page out of WWE Hall of Famer Mike Tyson was this guy.
Oh, he gets reload kick. Oh!
So he just bit the dude's ear there.
Double under. Oh, shit, ty píčo, tak co a je to tady. Pali Harry opravdu svého soupeře pokousal.
And then a bunch of people just start whooping his ass while this music's playing in the background. It's so epic. Throwing chairs. By God, King. Throwing chairs. Sabu. La Parka, is it? And it just sort of replays the clips of him getting beat up multiple times over. But yeah, I just thought that was crazy and had to be brought to the show. Biting his ear off, just pulls a Tyson. So in India, Parker Boudreaux is the CWE World Heavyweight Champion. The Great Khali's taken him under his wing, and here's a video of them together. And hopefully it loads here. It should. No, doesn't want to load. Okay. Awesome. That's great. Well, anyways, he's the champion in India, and him and Khali are doing stuff I don't know, we're doing these little skit vignette things, whatever, but they're really pushing this Parker Boudreaux kid some more, and he's been doing work in India. So I don't know what's going on. He was in NXT, he was in AEW, and then he just took off internationally. He was in Mexico. I don't know if he was in Japan, but either way. In other indie news, Mr. Anderson is the new JCW Lunacy champion. And hopefully this one loads. What the fuck? Well, the show's a bot. Show's over, guys. I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you now. Oh, my goodness. Here. It's going to fix this. Yeah, I don't know. Might be StreamYard. I'm too impatient for this shit right now. Yeah, let's see. So, guys, how you doing? We'll get it back up. But yeah, Parker Boudreaux, I'm high on that dude. I just don't know like what's going on. Is he ever going to come back to America? Is he just focused on doing his thing internationally? Yeah, I don't know, man. This shit is running all funky. Not good. But either way, we'll just talk about the shit. I was intending on breezing through this miscellaneous stuff, but I guess not, guys. We're locked in. Okay, here we go. Yeah, so Anderson is the JCW champion over there at on Lunacy, and he was making a play to come back to WWE. I think he even said he would work in AEWs, but yeah, hopefully he continues like him. They said Vince Russo fired 2 refs for smelling like Vader, and he's going off the deep end with some of this crazy shit. Lunacy indeed. Giselle Shaw, the quintessential diva, has arrived in NWA. She lost to their champion there in NWA, and Corgan doing a good job of protecting his girl there while bringing in people like Shotzi and Giselle Shaw. Yeah, I'm not sure, dude. Everything's fucking up. Is this just Twitter or what? I hit the audio. It don't want to work. Whatever. Doesn't matter. She was there. It's just an 8-second clip. And yeah, she had a solid match in NWA there, and Billy Corgan doing a good job. I want to see a 4th brand or a company get into the mix as far as like being a viable option. Like, it's really good that TNA is a viable option right now, because you have people like Trey Miguel, who whatever the fuck happened there, and you have some of these wrestlers who, you know, they need somewhere to be other than just WWE and AEW and whatnot. So joining me on the show here, ladies and germs, is the one and only JJ Alexander.
Hey, how's it going, Phil?
Which hopefully this doesn't. I think StreamYard's just glitching out like crazy.
Sure is.
JJ, what's up, buddy?
Hanging in there. Had a busy week trying to get editing.
You're muted
uploading.
or something. Or on like a crazy delay. I don't know. It's always, dude, StreamYard's such a bitch. I go away for one day. I stream on a day that isn't normal, and it's like, this shit is not, it doesn't even work. Yeah, you're like muted or something, buddy. Sorry. So moving along here, I want to see another Fed come up. Maybe MLW, maybe NWA, maybe that shit Freddie Prinze was talking about. Who knows? So Zilla Fatu. Well, we'll circle back into that because we actually have some serious miscellaneous news here. But yes, Mr. Anderson, the new JCW Lunacy champion. We talked about it here. I'll unbookmark it. That video doesn't want to play.
I just watched the opening segment of Lunacy.
Charlie, a.k.a. Dakota Kai, cut a promo for her return to the ring at Pro Wrestling Eve on March 8th against Kris Statlander. So Statlander dropped her title. A bunch of people are pissed about that. We're going to get into that in a bit. But she just said that she's reigniting her passion for pro wrestling. In other indie news, the Sandman, his retirement match at Joey Janela's Spring Break X will be against the Invisible Man. So it's Sandman versus the Invisible Man. I don't know. I think they'll do a bunch of run-ins where
I hate it.
He gets where he gets he gets to cane a bunch of motherfuckers, but him wrestling the Invisible Man, like how good is that gonna honestly be?
Terrible.
I just don't know if that's going to be good in any way. As JJ's figuring his stuff out on his mic. Yeah, StreamYard is just like, it takes me 10 clicks to go back to comments and stuff. It's just not good. It's just not good, man. It is just not good. Chat, what do you guys think? Chat me up, chat, about Sandman fighting the Invisible Man at Joey Janela's thing. Well, I look up fucking what's going on. Yeah, I don't know. Like, chat's not coming through and shit. I have no clue. This is cray cray. Hey, yeah, I want you cray cray. I want it. Okay, so that's all good and everything.
Now can you hear me?
Okay, moving along here. Hopefully you can all hear me. This is the worst show ever.
I can
Jesus
hear you.
Christ.
Can you hear me?
Should have took a sick day. I have no clue what's going on. JJ, you here? Are you working?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Just no one can hear you. Are you muted, or is this fucking
No.
StreamYard or something?
It's StreamYard.
This is crazy. It's crazy, bro. I don't know what's going on, JJ. I apologize greatly. You know, there's people just jumping off a cliff on this fucking thing. I don't blame them. This is terrible. What a botch. What a shitty show. So anyways, the Sandman versus the Invisible Man in his last match. Hopefully JJ gets it figured out. But speaking of indie shows, Bret Hart's son Dallas is putting on a show featuring a #1 contenders tournament for the Stu Hart Heritage Championship in Calgary. And that's awesome. Honoring great Canadian boys there, honoring the Hart Foundation as it should be. Girl Fight Wrestling is returning with ROH's Billy Starks as booker. So she's booking GFW, Girl Fight Wrestling. I'm not even overly familiar with what that is. This wrestler got booked for WrestleCon named Steve the Truth Douche. So I wish JJ's... You guys can hear JJ. I don't hear JJ. This is the fucking problem. What is going on? Yeah, he's at a really low volume. No clue what's going on, guys. I'm so sorry. So moving along here in other indie news, it'll work. It'll work itself out. Maybe I have to just reset the fucking browser or something, but we'll figure it out. In other indie news here, Charles Mason wins the Jersey J Cup and is the new JCW champion. So after, so this is the Jersey J Cup. He's the JCW champion, the other JCW champion. But yeah, he beat a woman to do it. So are you really the champ, bro? NWA history was made tonight on NWA Power on Roku when Allison Kay and Marty Bell, the Hex, defeated television's most attractive to become two-time NWA Women's Tag Team Champions. Two-time. So good to see Marty Bell. Like, I don't watch NWA, but it's good to see like Allison Kay and Marty Bell over there doing their things, you know? In other news, in other indie wrestling news, and maybe a bit of controversial news, indie wrestler Papa Dingo was accused of assault at an indie wrestling event. Okay, so let's click on this, head over to Ringside News, and see what they wrote about this. So the pro wrestling world has been filled with stories for years about bad actors. There was a point in time during the speaking out movement where a ton of people came forward to make those who use their positions in pro wrestling industry to foster abuse and harassment accountable for their actions. The list of people who were called out is quite extensive. Sadly, we have another story about someone who has a similar experience. On February 10, a Facebook user named Chris Evans, so not Captain America, not Captain America, but Chris Evans, no less. And he published a post where he remembered a traumatic experience he claims occurred nearly a decade ago at an independent professional wrestling event in Mansfield, Ohio. This is a story that he has apparently kept to himself for a long time, but he finally came forward. According to Evans, the incident occurred in 2015 while attending a wrestling show with friends. He alleges that a wrestler he remembers by the ring named Papa Dingo sexually assaulted him in a bathroom at the venue. Evans claims that the encounter started with a comment he initially dismissed as part of a wrestling character before escalating into unwanted physical contact. And he says, I haven't been on this page in over 10 years because I've gone through some things. I digged through and found my old password to come on and delete it. But then I decided to tell my story. In 2015, when I was 15, I attended a wrestling show and I was essayed by one of the wrestlers. His name was Papa Dingo. I was in the bathroom washing my hands when he came in. He told me I was a cute little thing. Weird, but I thought he was doing a character. He then reached down and grabbed my private area. Dude, did he Papa your dingo, bro? Holy shit. That's not good. My friend laughed and said that I was only 15, to which he replied, "You're never too young to learn." Oh, shit. Lock him up. No. We laughed it off as we walked out of the bathroom because I didn't know how else to react. I've never gone to another wrestling show since then. Fuck. I couldn't even watch it on TV anymore. Recently, a friend invited me to a mega championship wrestling event because we had talked about me loving wrestling growing up. I decided to look them up. At first, I didn't recognize him, but there he was on social media doing a different character, but the voice was unmistakable. I finally let me story out now. I will stay off Facebook for another 10 years probably. Yeah, so damn. That's fucked up for real. If that went down, we'll try this again.
Can you hear me now? I know the chat said they can hear me. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Chat, I can hear you now. Yes, you're on like a bit of a delay, but finally. And also StreamYard, did you notice like when I added you, it didn't take fucking a minute for you to load onto the screen also? So hopefully it's worked its shit out, chat. Yeah, let's continue. Are you familiar with Papa Dingo?
I have never heard of this motherfucker in my life.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, everything's working smoothly now. Shout out StreamYard. They listen to PWT. So moving along here, Congo Kong. So Papa Dingo and then Congo Kong. Is Congo Kong Papa Dingo, or are they just doing the same gimmick?
I think they're different people. Okay. Of course, I know that I know a lot of people that have worked with Congo Kong and never wish to share a locker room with Congo Kong ever again. So
yeah. So he reveals he's been wrestling with half a foot after COVID amputation. I'm not trying to laugh. JJ, you
get on my level, bitch.
Yeah. You're like half a foot. Try the whole thing.
Bro, I was working with half a foot back in 2014. You stole my gimmick.
Oh, shit. So in a stolen gimmick, a half a foot. So in other like indie news and people hanging it up, like that Chris Evans gentleman, he was hanging it up. Former WWE star Aliyah Noof Al-Aribi appears to be done with pro wrestling. She said this on Passes. Getting rid of everything wrestling related, action figures, gear, boots, you name it. DM me if you're looking for anything
good
specific. So are you not a fan?
Dude, remember back when there was that it was like a documentary special on NXT back when American Alpha first formed and shit.
No, I don't recall specifically.
It was when Dusty was still booking there. They did this whole backstage thing when they first put Gable and Jordan together, and they were trying to figure out how to click as a tag team. And Aaliyah was on it. I do remember
that.
Yeah, Aaliyah was on it, and she like was just lost like a deer in headlights every time. And she was like, "I want to try this gimmick where I'm like a genie." And Dusty was like, "All right, baby, we're gonna let you try it in front of the students and see how it works, baby." And she does it and like fart in church. No one cares. And I was just like, this girl does not have it. And that was like 5 years before they let her sniff the main roster. She was in developmental forever. Like Nikita Lyons level of stuck in developmental because you suck.
You know, I thought she was awesome, like in the ring with like the athletics. I wasn't too into like I'm not even like overly familiar with her. I wasn't invested in her character in NXT on the main roster. I remember when she came to the main roster and she wrestled like if AEW was around, she would have crushed it in AEW because like Tony likes that kind of like, I don't know. She would do moves where she kind of like bounce off the rope with her shins and like flip off it and do shit like that. Right. I'm pretty sure. But I remember that doc because Jason Jordan was like, he would clown on Tyler Breeze and shit. I think. He'd be like, "Why are you wearing amateur wrestling shoes? You didn't amateur wrestle and shit." And Tyler Breeze is like, "Fuck off, buddy." So moving along here, Hazar in WWE is set to debut in BKFC as announced by Conor McGregor. Selmani, Zim Selmani previously competed in MMA prior to WWE. And then Anjo says very legit chance he scores a debut in Newcastle, a KO in his debut in Newcastle, but and that's dope. Shout out Hazar, but bare knuckle boxing's a whole other animal. And if you look at Hazar's MMA career, his losses are all by TKO. And as pointed out to me by Anjo, he has like a kickboxing record, but it's like, and again, not to shit on it, but it's like it's like Andrew Tate level. Like Andrew Tate was a multiple time fucking kickboxing champion. Then he got G-checked. Well, that's sort of where Hazar came up was in. I think it's like that KSW. It's like if someone says they're a Golden Gloves boxer, like, yeah, you could outbox 90% of dudes who've never boxed, but like as far as boxing goes, a lot of people win Golden Gloves, you know? So he was like, yes, he went pro in that sort of thing. I don't even know what his kickboxing record is. I wasn't even familiar. I thought he was primarily a grappler because in MMA, he has all of his wins are by submission, and then he's been TKO'd in all of his losses. So I don't know. BKFC, I don't think that's. I hope he gets the KO. Jack Gallagher went and bare knuckle fought, and he did well. But again, if you're getting TKO'd in MMA in bare knuckle, that's I don't know, man. That's a whole other fucking animal to where, yeah. Moving along. In indie news here, we have some ex-whatever wrestlers. Ex-ROH wrestler claims Bad Bunny's halftime show will turn kids gay. Hey, man, he fucking
It's the fluoride in the water. First they get the frog, they get the kids.
Oh, man. So are you familiar with, let me see. Bad Bunny's Brown. Okay, the former ROH and NWA wrestler, Roshi Brown. Rosh Brown. I don't know, but he was in ROH and NWA. And yeah, he said that Bad Bunny will turn you gay, dude, if you didn't know.
It sounds like he's got some personal issues he's dealing with.
Yeah, dude. You trying to say something? So this multiverse mania, I'm not sure what this is. I think this is like the multiverse rumble or whatever. This is Eve Riot Girls of Wrestling. So no, it's not the multiverse rumble. I'm not even sure what the fuck this is, but it's a like a Royal Rumble where they're parodying wrestlers and stuff. This happened the other week. Look at this. What? And John Cena came out, but yeah. How? But it's not really John Cena because you can't see him. And so essentially, Sandman's last opponent will be John Cena as well.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's the Are you a fan of this, or do you think this is fucking stupid? This guy's pretending to be Triple H or Shawn Michaels right now.
No! The only time the Invisible Man shit is okay is when you're just like messing around doing drills in the ring, and like we used to like, because like there were a couple of guys that could like do it kind of well back at one of the schools I worked at. It was just like, okay, you know, it was just like, it's the whole, I can have a good match with anyone. All right, then wrestle the Invisible Man. And it would just be like a joke thing. And it would be like, okay, let me see you go, 3 minutes of the Invisible Man and show me how well you sell. But it was always just in jest. It's not meant to be done in front of people.
Man, I just realized, it's all girls wrestling. So they're all girls like dressed up like Paul Bearer and Shawn Michaels and Triple H and stuff with the Cena thing. It's kind of funny. And I get what you're saying. I mean, if the crowd was popping, cool. It's not shit that, I don't know. It just makes a mockery of wrestling. But then at the same time, some people are like, well, we all know it's fake and shit, but I don't know. But yeah, Cena got retired again by Claudia Winkleman. Whatever the fuck that means. In other news, Jesse the Body Ventura. Well, why don't you tell me what I'm doing in the Baja? Jesse Ventura says it's a disgrace that Donald Trump is in the WWE Hall of Fame. So there you go. And in WWE adjacent news
I saw this.
News, so Heidenreich, former WWE Tag Team Champion Heidenreich, he did join the Legion of Doom or the Road Warriors for a little while as well.
Yeah.
But he's working at Walmart and took time to talk with some wrestling fans. And this guy said you could tell it made him happy to be able to be in the spotlight again. I don't know about all that, but yeah, shout out Heidenreich, and good for him working. He's got a job there. I'm not gonna say a good job, but he's doing his thing at Walmart. Right. And I'm not one of these motherfuckers like celebrities working normal jobs after they were in the spotlight and people clown on them and shit. That's corny as fuck. Yeah, so.
That was just like a couple of years back. There was that big story because the dude that played Elvin on the Cosby Show, he's like the manager of a Trader Joe's in Jersey now, and like they were like he talked about like, oh, I was an actor, and they're like, were you ever in anything big? He was like, I was on the Cosby Show for like 8 seasons.
Yeah, and then also I'm trying to think. I think. Young Jock is a rapper, and he picked people up in like an Uber or something, and they were like clowning on him, and he's like, well, this is a family business. He's like, I have this car, and whoever's able to go for a trip can take it, and you know what I mean? So I don't know, clowning on that shit's weird. People got to
like when DMX is working at a Waffle House.
Is that a real thing?
Yeah, that was a real thing.
Damn, I didn't know that. DMX fucking ruled.
Hell yeah.
So Real American Beer unveils its new branding without Hulk Hogan. And I don't know. That could just be the right move. I always had the feeling they were going to move away from the branding. If you remember like earlier designs of Stone Cold's beer, it had more of his like WWE logo skull on it. And then it sort of evolved into like this modern, you got to just evolve the brand. And also, like, I'm not saying Hulk Hogan was hurting their sales or anything like that. He's the whole reason that it popped off in the first place, in the reason from your leg, Brett. But, I think this can design looks way better than the one they had previously, personally, but I like simplicity and shit. But I ain't drinking this shit. You guys, chat's got to let me know if this beer's even any good. I don't know if you've had any, JJ, but it's not.
It's very generic American yellow lager. It's like, I would sooner, like, if I'm gonna drink that type of beer, I'm gonna save a couple of bucks and I'm just gonna grab some Pabst Blue Ribbon or some Miller High Life.
Oh yeah, dude, I like PBR for sure. I'll drink some fucking Pabst for sure. So Ric Flair says he's thinking about wrestling again, and it's just like, buddy, I don't want to see that.
You
again.
what?
Never.
He wants to
Never
break
do I wanna see-
Lutez's record. That's why.
What's Lutez's record, sir?
He wrestled at 76.
How old's Flair? 76, 77, 78?
74.
Oh, wow. Wow. Yeah, don't do it, Flair. Don't do it. But what Flair is having a match with and what he is wrestling with is reality, seemingly, because he put out a cryptic tweet that triggered a false Ricky Steamboat death speculation.
Oh, that's
and
right.
So Flair,
Yeah.
he keeps melting down about shit online. So,
And the thing was, it wasn't even like a death speculation. It was like he showed a picture of him and Ricky and said, like, you know, the best matches I ever have. I'll always love you, Ricky Steamboat.
Yeah.
He never said R.I.P. in it. And like fans are just like, why is Rick saying that Steamboat is dead? Like he never said he was dead in the post.
it's true. The quote is we were an era that was lost but not forgotten because we were the best back then and even now. Thanks for
Right.
the memories, Hart. Ricky Steamboat. And then he dated it and then went woo at the end. And then people were like, dude, is he? And then it's like a AI painting picture. Like someone asked Grok to make a picture of Steamboat and Flair. And I mean, yeah, he was just putting out a heartfelt message. But dude, at their age, I mean, if someone put that out about Ric Flair, like let's say Ricky Steamboat was like, oh man, Ric Flair, thanks for the memories. People would think he was dead.
Right.
You know, they're old enough to where I get why people were like, what the fuck? Why is this being cryptic about a death or something?
Right.
But a wife of Ricky Steamboat speaks out after Ric Flair's viral farewell post. And shout out Ringside News for covering all this. And so concerns spread quickly. Steamboat's wife said, this is Steamboat's wife. I just wanted to come on here and say thank you to everyone for your concern. I want to say that in the 11 years that I've been with Ricky, Flair's never been anything but extremely nice and very respectful to Ricky and also to me. I know he didn't post this with any ill intent. On the upside, I got to chat with some of you, which I enjoy immensely. Thanks to all of you who are now following me. And she just basically was like, everything's good.
Mm-hmm.
So thank God Steamboat's not dead. Thanks, Rick, for fucking.
That's gonna be a sad day when that happens, man.
Yeah, thanks for freaking everyone out about that shit, though. Nikki Blackheart defeated Abaddon to become the MPX Women's World Champion. She also is getting a WWE tryout or ID tryout or whatever. I accidentally skipped over that. Stone Cold was in a Super Bowl commercial for Kawasaki Sports, which everybody seemed to enjoy. Which the audio ain't working. I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Mm.
But he had a mullet. He had a mullet there, so good on him. WWE Hall of Famer Fred Ottman has been hospitalized for 30 days
Not
after
Uncle Fred.
suffering a ruptured gallbladder and subsequent infections. Ottman, known to fans as Tugboat and Typhoon. Why would you put Tugboat before Typhoon?
Because he was Tugboat longer than he was Typhoon.
Okay, fair enough. Shared that the situation was nearly fatal, stating doctors told him he might not have survived had he waited another day to seek help. While he is working on regaining his mobility and learning to walk again, he expects to be released from the hospital on Monday.
Okay.
Prayers up,
that's
man.
good.
Prayers up for him.
Yeah, anytime you're stuck with an infection in the hospital and you got to have IV antibiotics, it's a bitch. I know. It's happened to me many times.
So speaking of the crazies, ex-WWE star Lars Sullivan accuses AEW of signing
Oh my
liberal...
fucking God.
Listen to this, dude. Liberal Nazis after the Rascals deal.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. He's nutso. This guy just pokes his head back up. So he tweets out, or where did he fired off a brutal tweet referring to an old photo of Zachary Wentz dressed as Adolf Hitler. Sullivan tweeted out, AEW signs literal Nazis. Very interesting. I thought they were the woke crusaders. Okay, wait, a literal Nazi. First off, I don't think literal Nazis even really exist anymore. Let's be honest. But if we're talking about
this poor kid's going to have this photo follow him around till the day he dies. He was like 16 or 17 when he took it. And it was literally while he was shaving. And he sent a selfie to another worker who he thought was a friend, who ended up stabbing him in the back with it.
And yeah, I mean, dude, it's just such a dumb thing to.
It was a very dumb thing.
To call someone a literal Nazi. That's just so stupid. Like, that's the dumbest thing.
Yeah.
And especially from this dummy. What did he get fired for again?
So he kept no-showing because of supposed panic attacks and how he was afraid of crowds. But then like stuff resurfaced of him like saying a bunch of like really, really like racist stuff and doing G4P stuff. So
G4P, what does that mean?
Gay for pay.
Oh yeah. Isn't he? Oh yeah, you're gay. He's gay, dude. So he no, just no, but he was in like a gay porno or something, right?
Yeah, and he got caught saying a bunch of like literal Nazi stuff on message boards.
and then he's calling this guy literal Nazi. Oh yeah. Wow. And he was saying because I remember him saying some cooked up shit. But yeah, when he was again, Lars Sullivan. Don't be a fucking hypocrite. When you were younger, you did shit you regretted. And this guy did shit he regretted when he was younger. Yeah. So I don't know what to tell you, buddy. Why does he still keep, or is that actually him though? Because the handle was Lars Sullivan WWE. Would he still have that? Why would he keep that as handle? Because he's trying to cling on to relevancy. Wouldn't WWE make you remove that?
No, they can't make you because he started the account like on his own. Because this was before like, it was before the WWE started taking like Final Copy and having like, you know, on what your social media could be. So you could start an account with a WWE name in it, and it's yours. Because I think he opened it up when he was like still in NXT, and so you're talking like. That was pre-pandemic, so it was before they really started negotiating social media stuff.
Man, seems like everyone's losing their fucking minds, man.
Mm-hmm.
So speaking of losing your mind, Janelle Grant accused of being an opportunist in WWE lawsuit against Vince McMahon. She's I know your gimmick's the opportunist. Yeah,
she's gonna be
now take advantage of me.
She's speaking at a conference here in Connecticut next week.
Yeah, I saw that. So the opportunist, Edge is like, oh, that's my gimmick. Who is the opportunist again? Was that Seth Rollins or was that Edge? The ultimate opportunist.
That was Edge.
That was Edge, yeah. Oh, that's my gimmick. But I don't know. Yeah, this thing's being dragged out and dragged on. And that's just the latest update on it. So, and yeah, she's doing a speech in Connecticut about what?
About the danger of signing NDAs and people having to sign like the statement, it was about NDAs and people being coerced to sign documentation from like corporate lawyers who use doublespeak to make them sign it, stuff like that.
So judge denies Janelle Grant's early discovery request in Vince McMahon's trafficking case. What the fuck? I don't know what an early discovery request. So that's to get early access to
it's so
what
hers
will be presented in court so her and her lawyer can prepare essentially.
Exactly.
Right? Okay. Okay. Yeah. See, I'm a dumb fuck, but I can get some, I think I can get it right. You just got to sound it out. Sound it out, Phil. Sound it out. In Japanese, or I guess we'll go in other like sicko news because this is like half a sicko segment, I guess. Zilla Fatu blasts GCW, urges fans not to take kids due to weird owner, talking about Brett Lauderdale. So I don't know what's going on here.
I've heard a few things.
So GCW is an independent promotion. We know that. So Zilla Fatu says, man, fuck GCW, man. Weird ass owner, man. It's weird ass. You're weird. It's a weird ass owner. Nah, for real. Shout out to Frankie, man. Make sure that's the last time you go to GCW, all right? That's the last time. I'm telling y'all. The owner weird as hell, bro. If you got kids, do not take your kids there. Don't take none of your kids to that. I'm telling y'all, man, not for real. Holy shit. This is like an Epstein file drop here. So, okay, go ahead. What is your take initially? And then we have some more stuff on this.
I have issues with GCW. I have issues with the fact of how much they charge fans for tickets while they're in indie. I also am not a fan of Brett Lauderdale's business practices because, like, earlier on when I jumped on, you were talking about the Jersey Cup, the JCW, the other JCW. So that's owned by Brett Lauderdale as well. And what happens is that JCW, Brett books guys to get on that show, and you have to sell tickets to get on that show. And that's your tryout. And if you are able to sell tickets for that, and you do okay in his eyes on that show, he'll use you in GCW. But it's basically a pay-to-play fed, which I hate. Like, it's bad enough when there's promoters that are like, they bring you in and then they're like, the house was light, brother, and you don't get an envelope. It's even worse when you are forced to sell 20 to 30 tickets and then get told, okay, maybe I'll bring you back. Have a good day.
Damn.
Yeah.
So who's taking their kids? So Jason G from the SAT says, who's taking their kids to a GCW show? Good
Jason's
question.
got
No.
it. Yeah, I never see kids in a GCW audience.
So Dirt Sheet Radio says, maybe don't expect Zilla Fatu at any GCW shows in the near future. On a recent edition, he went off. He said, don't bring your kids around Lauderdale, essentially, is what everyone extrapolated from that. So Brett Lauderdale had this to say: when I first met Zilla, he had 13 matches and an ugly falling out with Booker T under his belt. We took him into the GCW family, brought him on the road, and gave him the opportunity to work with, be around, and learn from some of the best in the business. Nobody else would touch him. I have a lot of respect for the family, so I won't say anything to damage his career, but there's a reason he's still out here and not with them on TV, and it has nothing to do with his talent.
Bullshit.
Okay.
His falling out with Booker T lasted all of what, 2 weeks, and they made up? Like, they're cool with each other. And Zilla's working on his own because Zilla's got his own outside brand endorsements that he's getting paid for. And let's call a spade a spade. He's one of the Fatu clan. He knows how to work.
Yeah. So he says, unfortunately, he hasn't figured that part out yet. Young wrestlers, be careful who you surround yourself with. The dudes sitting next to you laughing it up and encouraging you when you say and do dumb shit are not your friends, and they don't have your best interests in mind. They are seeking attention and clout at your expense. Now, that is true, especially for people like with internet clout and people who, like, Zilla goes viral, he's on TV and shit. You don't want to surround yourself with the wrong motherfuckers. But also, like, I don't know these kids and I don't know what this screen grab is from, you know? Is that from the night, or are these guys going, yeah, fuck him, he's a loser? I don't know, but just flipping the birds isn't like the biggest deal ever. So It's like weird to just accuse these motherfuckers of whatever, you know. Who knows if they're bad or no? They could have fucking helped this guy. Who knows? They could be helped keeping him sober and shit, for all we know. I don't fucking know. I don't know if Zilla's sober or anything, but like out of trouble, you know what I'm saying? He's been in trouble in the past. For all we know, these guys could be keeping him out of trouble, but they're just, you know, acting foolish on the internet. That's what people do. People talk shit on the internet. But anyways, it's just funny. He screen grabbed his two random friends. They're like, what did we do? We didn't fucking work for you, bro. So Brett Lauderdale, Zilla will either figure it out soon and fulfill his destiny, or he will end up as just another cautionary tale. I wish him the best regardless. Missy Hyatt said, can't comment on Zilla's experience. My experience with Lauderdale, he paid me correctly. He tried to spotlight so much talent that was unknown and are now stars. Gives the fans a great live show experience. No drama locker room. Plus, he's a family man. Always love and respect for Brett. So that was her take on it all. And I think there might be one more thing on that since. Actually, no, there isn't. So just overall, JJ, like, are you siding with anyone, or are you just
I'm
neutral
not a fan
on
of
that?
Brett Lauderdale at all.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I call it like I see it. I know we live in a different economic climate now than 10 years ago, but you should be able to go see an indie and pay like $25 and be happy for like a GA ticket. General admission for GCW, depending on the venue, is anywhere from $50 to $75, which is fucking insane.
Yeah. But they're getting bigger, man. They're competing with AEW. No,
they're not. That's the thing.
Yeah.
They're still running in the same sized venues as they were 5 years ago. Like, and whether they sell, like, everyone judges it by they see the Hammerstein ballroom shows that they do. It's the fucking Hammerstein. If you can't sell out the Hammerstein as an established company, you have a problem. Yeah. So, but they don't talk about, like, when they come to the Webster Theater here in Hartford, Connecticut, and they only sell like 100 tickets. Like, and that happens, but no one talks about that. They only talk about the times where you see them at the Hammerstein, or they like do a big show in Philly at the Armory or some shit. There's a ton of shows in between where they're not doing that much. There's people that talked about, like, when Cora Jade did like 3 spots for them. There was a dude who was at a show in like Dothan, Alabama or some shit. And he was like, there was like 95 people here and no one was coming to see her.
Well, in Japanese wrestling news, we have some Japanese wrestling news. Then we're going to get into AEW stuff. And then we'll get into some Worldwide Wrestling Federation stuff or whatever. Chat can let me know. They can entice me whichever way we go with that. But Pro Wrestling Noah will now handle management-related services for Shinjiro Otani. And then he's scheduled to... So, like, I don't know. This is all over the place. And I'm like, all right. Good for them. But in other legends of Japanese wrestling, I guess this guy might be a legend. New Japan Pro Wrestling is deeply saddened to learn of the passing of former IWGP heavyweight champion Tadao Yasuda at the age of 62. And so prayers up for him. We have some contract news and free agency action going on in the land of New Japan. So David Finlay was asked if he has any thoughts on Evil, and David Finlay is a free agent right now. So again, there's speculation of is he going to go to WWE, join his brother Uriah Connors, maybe not join him in NXT, but like be in the same company as him. And I think David Finlay could go right to the main roster. But maybe other people disagree. I'm not even sure. Let me look up his age. We're ageist.
I'd send him an NXT just so he can get that American TV.
We're ageist here. He's 32. So, I mean, if you're 32, you have time. You have to, we're ageist here at PWT. But yeah, you have time to go to NXT, I guess, if you're 32. But at the same time, like, I'm all about when he knows how to work. Just play some fucking vignettes and debut him. But I would say Evil, to me, looks more of like a guy that I could see WWE pushing as like a mid-upper card guy if they were going to main roster either of these dudes. But either way, Finlay was asked about Evil, and he said he got beat by an Olympic gold medalist and quit out of shame. Great athlete, Olympic gold medalist, but it was his first ever pro wrestling match. If I lost to someone in their first ever match in front of a sold-out Tokyo Dome, I'd quit in shame too. So he's talking that shit, and he might. Well, there was speculation that after those comments, he might sign with New Japan. And Nuge is stingy with their footage, but he did like a bow and a salute. He did a hugged Gato, and he's pretty much out of there, is what everybody thinks. However, Drilla Maloney, who everybody thought was going to AEW or WWE, announced that he's re-signed with New Japan for 1 year, which maybe he sees some people leaving so he could slide into one of those positions before coming over to America, just to get that top guy money and shit in. Yeah, exactly. I think that makes sense. But Hanare posted free agent on their Twitter, and another New Japan person leaving, essentially. And there was rumors that a bunch of people were leaving, and they some of them just signed like a 1 month or few month extension or whatever just to get through Wrestle Kingdom. And it seems like that's the case. Ren Narita just defeated Aaron Wolf for the Never Openweight Championship in a 2-minute match.
Ugh.
So Aaron Wolf did all that shit against Evil, won that title, and then Ren Narita just beat him in 2 minutes, a glorified squash.
Sounds like Aaron Wolf pissed off Gato.
Is that what it is? Did he piss him off, or is he? What's going on with all that, man? Like, why would they do that? Are they trying to create shock and awe, or is it the WWE thing kind of where it's like, well, we'll 50-50 book this kid. We just started him out. He beats Evil. Evil's leaving, but we're sticking with Ren Narita. Like, does Aaron Wolf have aspirations of going to America? Is he even signed to New Japan long term? Dave Meltzer was talking about Aaron Wolf's the guy. He's the future. He's going to carry the company for the next however many years, and they're just like squashing him with this guy. Is that just to move him up to another title or what?
Even if it was to move up to another title, like just to in New Japan of all fucking places to have a 2-minute match, that's sending a message to someone. Like, because New Japan matches go fucking forever. That's the reason AEW matches are so long. So to see a 2-minute squash, especially for a title in New Japan, someone pissed someone off.
That's crazy. I couldn't even believe this when I read this shit. It was that New Beginning. So maybe Aaron Wolf's like, I'm out of here. But the 2026 New Japan Cup participants have been revealed. No Finley, no Clark Connors, no Takahashi, no Evil, since they've all left. You have Uemura versus Great O'Khan. Drilla Maloney gets a bye. Aaron Wolf versus Bad Luck Fale, Don Fale. Shingo Takagi gets a bye. Taichi Ren Narita. Ishii gets a bye. El Phantasmo, Bolton, Oleg, Hanari gets a bye, but he just said he's a free agent, so he might do a job and leave this shit, or he might lose this tournament, put people over, and then fucking leave Nuge. Yoshihashi takes on Jake Lee. Goto gets a bye. Oscar versus Callum Newman. Hartley Jackson gets a bye. Shota Umino versus Chase Owens. Yujiro Takahashi gets a bye. Yudo Ice and Ryohei Oiwa are taking each other on. Zack Sabre Jr. gets a bye in that. Yeah. So you're not impressed? You're not a big Nuge guy or what?
I'm not. Was it Zack Sabre Jr.? I have never cared for that dude.
You don't like his submission holds and all that?
He is bland as fucking oatmeal on a fucking Sunday morning with nothing in sight to add to it. Like, just, like Irish oatmeal bland.
But he does cool holds and shit, bro.
So?
I know. Yeah, so that was miscellaneous news, ladies and gentlemen. Amazing stuff. Yeah, let's get into some other stuff.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
Guys, make sure you check out Full Circle Radio on YouTube, my guy JJ, and make sure you check out patreon.com/Pro Wrestle Times. And yeah, we're on a Thursday. It's weird. Everything's all backed up there. As I had the flu, but I've returned, and we are going to get into some AEW news here. There's a lot of dramas, and some of this Dave Meltzer stuff on Dave Meltzer Dumb Moment of the Week tomorrow. Time Cop, special Friday edition. I'm going to also, dive deeper into the surface of this Royce Keys and this sweeping for Tony stuff. But tonight we're definitely going to talk about it. So get your flutes in chat. Absolutely. So let's get into AEW news, ladies and gentlemen. And I think we're going to start with like attendances and ratings because it's the boring stuff, but it's the stuff that we got to keep track of. And let me see here. Ladies and germs, Ichi ni Sanda. Hopefully you guys get that. StreamYard's so glitchy. Fuck my life. It is time for AEW news. And of course, the best guys.
Tony Khan.
So Meltzer said what? Responded to the Wrestling Observer and said, is Vegas tourism hurting Dynamite ticket sales, or is AEW not as popular as a year ago? So again, Dave has this whole narrative of like
WrestleMania in Vegas. Yeah, he said that shit.
Yeah, like Vegas is cooked, and they're having emergency meetings is what all the dirt sheets. We're going to get into that in WWE news. But again, when it comes to AEW, they're doing 1,700 tickets. Like they used to have Double or Nothing there, which is like their fucking SummerSlam or WrestleMania event or whatever.
And let's be completely honest. How you see how it says plus 331 in the last 15 days, which means 31 people bought tickets in the last 2 weeks and 300 comps were handed out locally.
Yeah,
that's what that means.
And that's Vegas. Dave will never run with that story, though. In other ratings and attendances is news, which I'm sure we've got some here. And then, there was a Dynamite last night that everyone was glazing. I don't think too much attendances or ratings. With the new rating system, it comes out all wonky. Then there's all these fucking corrections. So Collision last Saturday saw a drop in viewership from the prior week with 18 to 49 was steadily up. So Collision averaged 388K, down 21%. And this is what I'm saying. Where does Dave think these people magically go? They're just on Max simulcasting some of the time. That's why you can't believe his fucking numbers, because they just don't. The math doesn't math. A 0.07 unchanged as per Programming Insider, but that doesn't include the simulcast, whatever. And year over year, it's down 30%. Brian. And I think they have a show Saturday and Sunday. There's the Grand Slam show, and then there's this fucking Sunday show. That's called like the Drive-In or something. I keep fucking up the name of it, but it's called like the Send-Off. I don't know.
So this Saturday is Grand Scam Australia?
Yeah, and then if you don't mind, JJ, Google what's on Sunday for AEW. There's like they're doing matches in Australia, and I think it's just like a bonus show. Because it's not called Collision like on Saturday. It's a 2.5 hour special, AEW Grand Slam Australia. And then Sunday, there's like matches announced, Moxley's wrestling and shit, and it's in Australia. I don't know if it's televised or what's going on.
It's not. It's a House Rules show in Brisbane.
Oh, House Rules. Yeah, I'm like the Drive-In. I don't know what it's called.
It's a house show.
That's it. It's a house show. Well, good for them doing a house show, but it's just guys who would have random matches on TV anyways. They should be doing house shows all over the fucking place in Australia leading up to Grand Slam. But yeah, I'm just interested to see how big that ring is. But AEW presents Dynamite in Ontario, California, where they sold 4,000 tickets. They're set up for 4,400. This is February. This was yesterday's Dynamite, pardon me, that everybody was putting over as like AEW's back, one of their best episodes. They did do 4,000 people, so they needed that real bad. They needed that really bad. They didn't sell out their setup, but 4K, that's like a W for AEW. Even though it's kind of sad if you look back 6 years or whatever, 7 years, but you guys know what I'm saying, like 4K for them for Dynamite.
I actually have some info on that though.
Yeah. So,
this was posted. I'm going to read this. I had a bookmark. This was posted in the Cult of Cornette Facebook group. It's from a guy named Lloyd Takiwa. He says, "My name's Lloyd. I'm a professional wrestler based in Brisbane, Australia. AEW is running a House Rules show here this Sunday, February 15th. I trained at a local wrestling school, and today our group was offered 2 complimentary tickets each to attend the event.
Oh, wow.
Based on the current seating layout, these tickets are valued at around 305 Aussie, which is $215 US. $215 a seat for a house show. As expected at that
poor
price
people
point,
don't like AEW.
As expected at that price point, there are still plenty of seats available from ringside to the upper stands. What really stood out locally is the lack of promotion. Outside of a few Facebook ads that only started showing up about 2 weeks before this show, there's been almost no visible marketing. Personally, I'm not a fan of the current product. That said, I'm considering going purely out of morbid curiosity. At this point, it feels less like a major touring promotion visiting Australia and more like a high-priced indie show that forgot to advertise. I thought this might be something worth sharing, given your ongoing discussions about ticket sales, promotion, and presentation. Thank you for your time."
Damn. So if they gave out 2 per person there, then like everywhere got 2 per person. You know, that like times that by 10 of people who got two tickets per person handed out to them. Like that's not the only school or gym or whatever the fuck that got those tickets, essentially, dojo, whatever. So there you go. And again, everybody papers the houses a little bit, but Tone,
Right.
I mean, they announced the Wembley. We're going to get into all that, but I mean, like, that's going to be the most papered show of all
They announced
time.
Wembley again?
Yes, dude. We're going to get into
God.
it. So this last night's Dynamite, it has everybody going crazy. Everybody's saying AEW's back again. Oh my God, we're back again. And Kyle Fletcher defeated Tommaso Ciampa to regain the TNT championship. Archer's just out there for some reason, and to regain the TNT championship. So Ciampa got beat right away. What do you think of that? Was that the right move? People are melting down. We have other title switch news, but Kyle Fletcher, man, should they have won? Should he have won this belt back? And then guess what? He's rematching Mark Briscoe in a ladder match at Grand Slam.
Which didn't Briscoe beat him for the belt in a ladder match?
I think, but like, why is it ladder matches? Like, it's got to be climb to the top. Like, you have to give us a reason for a ladder match. It can't just be a fucking ladder match.
But yeah, I'm pissed for Tom. I really am. Like, I was concerned about him going there because of working the AEW style. It turns out Tony used him as a fucking pawn because he wanted to move the algorithm into his favor, because he put the title on Tom the same night that Royce Keys debuted in the Rumble. So he wanted to be like, see, we take people and put a title on them in their first night here, because that's what a good booker does, which is the dumbest fucking thing on the planet. And then Tom just has to drop the belt a week later. Like, what the actual fuck are you doing? Like,
yeah, bro.
Now Tom's he's gonna flounder around. He's gonna be ROH TV champion in a matter of 4
Yeah,
months.
that's what it'll be. He'll be pure champ and be wrestling in CMLL with fucking Claudio, dude. And when I heard he was wrestling Fletcher, I was like, oh, he's gonna drop it to Fletcher, because Dave has been talking about, well, obviously, Fletcher. I mean, for him to get the TNT again, they've been building to that, and they're just building lots of great things, and and they're building to Fletcher with the TNT again. And I'm just like, are they? Is that what they're doing? I thought that, like, why are you just telling everyone this? And so, yeah, he dropped it. They hot potatoed it. This is the hot potato belt. And then Ciampa, instead of it being like a 3-way, okay, well, Briscoe beat Fletcher, but Fletcher beat Ciampa out of nowhere. Briscoe's the number one contender if it's not one of the 3-way ladder match for the belt or something like that.
Right.
Tommaso Ciampa's just not on the fucking pay-per-view or the Grand Slam, whatever, at all. He's just not even on it. And yes, he's going to get fucking relegated to ROH. It is glaringly obvious and such a travesty. Tommaso Ciampa also said, and I have a bookmark somewhere, that he primarily signed with AEW for financial stability.
Yeah.
And again, he says financial stability led him to choose AEW over WWE, and that's totally fine. Get your money and all of that, but it's like,
get your bag.
Tommaso Ciampa, come on down. Like, it's just the fucking money. Owns the money.
Yeah, because I guarantee
this is what makes him a fucking money mark. Sorry, go ahead.
I guarantee Tom was probably at the low end of the WWE salary system. He was probably at the 250, 275K mark a year, which is nothing to sneeze at. But I guarantee the moment it was coming up and Tony heard, I guarantee Tony freaking threw 500K a year minimum at him.
Yeah, man. And good for him. Like, I'm glad him and his family are getting paid. And again, I'm going to be honest. I don't like DIY on SmackDown. I just was such a hater on it. I could care less, honestly. And even Gargano by himself, like, I could give a fuck less. When they were in NXT, DIY was all good. They did tremendous stuff. Again, I put it over. Ciampa did some great stuff. When he turned on Gargano, that was like, I just remember like, oh, melting down. Oh my God. Oh, it was the greatest thing I've ever seen. But yeah, the financial stability is like why people go to AEW, and that's totally good for him. But at the same time, like,
you got to worry about everything.
Like, and he was used exactly. You have to worry about everything, and he was used the way you said. Like, he was just used to kind of counteract the Royce Keys thing, and then everybody like Dave Meltzer can rewrite history, not even rewrite it because he did put a title on him, but he can be like, well, Tony Khan puts titles on people when you got it. Like, you know, they can just get away with saying stupid shit like that, even though it was meaningless and should have been much more. So shout out Ciampa. I like him better as like a solo heel than I like him with DIY personally.
Yeah,
So
I think
maybe
like
you could do
I like DIY in ring, but the gimmick itself had run its course a while back, and I love both the guys in it. It's just this, DIY was never meant to have longevity as a team, and I don't think Trips ever got past that.
Mm-hmm. So speaking about getting past things, it seems as though Tony Khan is also over Kris Statlander for whatever reason.
Because that interview she did.
And so Kris Statlander went on Inside the Ring, and she got very emotional while speaking about her redemption story. Shout out TMZ and Inside the Ring. And let's take a listen to this and she's holding the AEW World title. And again, Statlander, before she won it, they put it on her out of nowhere, but it just seemed as though they were more focused on like Monet or whatever. They didn't really do justice by her. They've never done justice by Kris Statlander. She's just there as like,
right,
okay, you beat Monet and here's the belt.
She needs to get out of there.
I know. And then another instance of that is like, okay, you beat Jade Cargill, take her belt, but like they didn't build up to it. They didn't build off of that. They didn't do anything to like propel Kris Statlander when she has size, she's good in the ring, and people, you know, enjoy her. I would say even a lot of WWE fans, let's say they tune into AEW, Statlander would stand out to you. And so I'm not sitting here like, oh, she's the best champion ever. But to me, it just seemed like she won the title in the women's division. Just kind of, it's just an afterthought for Tone. He wouldn't even have women's wrestling if he wasn't on fucking, you know, if it wasn't like people telling him that he needs to in 2026, I don't think. But either way, he doesn't know how to book women and fucking luchas. That's for goddamn sure. He just doesn't care. But Statlander, she won the belt, quite lackluster. It got kind of overshadowed by the women's tag titles. They don't really build to anything. They don't do anything with her. And then she loses this title immediately after this interview, and everybody hurts, but everybody thinks it's because Tony Khan is punishing her. Let's listen to this, and then let's determine and deliberate whether or not it's because Tony's punishing her. Is this a punishable offense? TMZ's Inside the Ring.
I've just been like a constant up and down wave of like trying to figure out who I am and try and tell people who I am, and like just being kind of lost in myself, that I haven't really been able to sit down and get the chance and explain to a lot of people, like, this is who I am, this is who I need. And then,
so she wants to be able to tell her story and you know, show who she is, and so things that AEW should be able to facilitate but don't, and that's why it's an inferior wrestling company objectively if you compare it to WWE, because that's all they do. That's how they get people over. They tell their stories and shit.
And you know, I fortunately got a very
other feds, TNA too.
You know, due to Toni Storm being a little radical and out there, she's like, you title match, and we were all like, okay, great, I'll take advantage of this opportunity. Meanwhile, I was
so is that how they booked it? You title match?
Yeah, sounds about right.
Just shit just happens, man. It's so
right. It's
stupid.
This was a double-edged sword. It's because Statlander is talking about herself and her redemption arc and kind of expose a little bit of how the booking goes. At the same time, this week, Tekla openly sucked Tony's dick in a fucking interview and was like, "I never wanted to go to WWE. I always wanted to go to AEW," which is total horseshit because she had already been working for 3 years before AEW existed.
Yeah, you know, I like Tekla a lot, and I'm okay with her being world champion and shit, but like, how about we build Statlander up so that when Tekla wins, it means something? Like, none of these belts mean shit, because it's like the wrestlers aren't elevating the title, and the title's not elevating them. That's like the worst of both scenarios, right? Either the title, JJ, you know this, you book shit, either the title's supposed to elevate the guy,
or the guy
and his
elevates
competitors, or the guy elevates the title for a little bit. fuck's sakes, it's no one's doing, like, Stat didn't do that, and now Tekla's not doing that either. And it doesn't matter how many banger matches she has.
Right.
That's not going to fucking change perception on anything. It's madness.
In the middle of still trying to like find myself. Here I am now with the championship out of that.
Still trying to find herself. She's been in AEW like 5 fucking years trying to find herself world champion, and that's not even on her. I don't blame the boys and girls for this shit. I do not. It's not even on her.
Still don't know how they feel about me because I'm not sure how I feel about about myself. And Toni Storm, who's so sure of herself, Mercedes Moné, who's so sure of herself, and I'm still over here trying to be like, no, guys, I'm really good at this, and I promise I'm worthy of this. It's just been very tough for me to like resonate with the fans again, and
and I get where she's coming from here.
No, it's
I get where she's coming from. I've seen it. I was at that point early in my career, and I've seen it with a lot of people where some people just, they don't have that natural, they don't have that belief in themselves, and they need guidance. And some of the best workers you see are the ones that need guidance for a bit and eventually find their voice, but they need that, they need that, that hand up to find it. And obviously Statlander was looking for herself on the indies. She got the bag from AEW. She went there and she thought being on TV would be enough. And here she is realizing, she's like, no, I need something more.
I know.
And she got shit on for it by the guy who fucking books.
And
that's some Ole Anderson, Bill Watts, I hate you bullshit going on.
Man, and AEW just sucks people's will to fucking live. Like, why is there so many people who come at AEW and they're just fucking demoralized, beat down, beat up, they're unsure of themselves, so many of them. And then the guys who come over from WWE, she's like, oh, Toni Storm and Monet. Oh, you mean the WWE superstars who were fucking world champions in WWE? Yeah, they knew who they were.
Who left there because they had a huge fucking ego. That's what she's saying. She's like, they're sure of themselves. No, they're cunts with giant egos. There's a difference.
Oh man, I just hope that I don't know, man, like Britt Baker fucking is missing. People were, you had the Lucha Bros saying like they treat you inhumanely and shit, right? CM Punk had a rude awakening. This woman's here crying on TMZ like about fucking being unsure of who she is, and it's all coming up, and she's sitting there holding your world title crying like, I'm not even sure of who I am, and this isn't even like a plot point on your TV show. This is really her getting to speak for the first time somewhere like this and letting it out, and then Tone just takes the fucking title from her. Like, you can't make this shit up, man.
It's something I've been
AEW's cooked. It's a cooked place.
It's really tough to feel like I'm not getting the chance to show everybody what I'm trying to do and be so sure of myself, because I don't have a sob story anymore. I recovered from 2 major injuries. I lost my belt. I lost my friends. I didn't get forgiven, but now I got the belt. I got my friends back. I don't have a reason for people to sympathize with me anymore, and I don't want the sympathy. I want them to understand that I am everything I said I was this whole time, and I deserve to be in this position. And it's okay to not feel bad for me, and it's okay to like just be confident. And I feel like that's a whole lot of things that people aren't comfortable accepting sometimes when they expect to see like a happy, bubbly baby face and stuff.
Yeah, I don't know.
I will tell you this. This was a TMZ interview.
Yeah,
this has been like a constant,
good because TMZ
up and
this
down
footage. So I am telling you that was a prime example of when she leaves this fucking place and when she gets signed by WWE, because it will happen. And when she finds her voice there, they will be able to take this footage from TMZ from X amount of years prior and show and use that to her advantage to show a gigantic redemption story that will hook every WWE fan line and sinker, and rightly so, and make her the fucking star that is begging to bust out.
Well, speaking of stars ready to bust out, Tekla, who I'm a fan of, man. I just think they could have done a little more But AEW just never does that shit. But good for her. I guess she's the world champ. Like, I'm sorry if she's getting any. I know that she came out and was like, I only wanted to go to AEW and stuff. That's totally cool and that's totally fine.
It's bullshit. It was a power play to kiss the booker's ass, which fine. Some people do that. I like Tekla, but right now I see her as when they first put Julie on SmackDown. She's in that level of she's here, she's an ass kicker or whatever, but she's not over enough.
Yeah, and like, unfortunately, it's going to, I don't want to say backfire, but it's going to backfire a bit on her as far as internet perception. They're going to be like, oh, look, she kissed up to Tony Khan, and then she got rewarded, and look at Statlander. People predicted her getting punished, and it happened. It seems that way, at least. Maybe not punished, but certainly reprimanded or fucking... Like, why did she just drop the title, especially on the same night when you had Ciampa drop in a title too? Right. Why would you have two title switches?
Title drops on one show. You got a super chat, Phil.
Yeah, so that would be that's quite interesting. I don't see it. I'm sorry. It'll come in. StreamYard's
okay, I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it in the YouTube chat. That's why.
Yeah, just wait till it pops up, man. Thanks for the heads up. It for some reason StreamYard's dumping the chat. Like, I'll get like 12 chats at once. It's been doing that. I don't know why. So the Young Bucks on this last Dynamite, they became the #1 contenders for the tag titles again, and it's going to be the Bucks versus FTR. And what happened was, to talk about the Young Bucks for a little bit, Private Party returned, and they are returning at HOG, so they're doing a match, and they've been gone for like a year.
They trained at HOG, so
yeah, they're awesome. I love Private Party. They need to get the fuck out of AEW.
Nope.
Not a
Mark
fan.
Quinn is a fucking piece of shit. I had to deal with him for so many years. You want to talk about a fucking kid that doesn't listen, even when you're the booker, giving him direction for his fucking match, and the kid goes, no, I'm going to do this. No, fuck Mark Quinn, all right? Fuck that kid so fucking much. I regret every single time I either had to book him or agent one of his matches.
Oh my god. So Mark Quinn and Isaiah Cassidy of Private Party permanently remain under AEW contract. When asking a number of sources about Private Party, everyone said they could be expected back in AEW before WWE. Fightful reported that, and then of course they showed up in a #1 contender match with the Rascals and the Bucks, and then guess what? Everyone loses and the Bucks win, and it's exactly what I predicted. We're getting the Bucks versus FTR, babyface Bucks versus heel FTR. I just smelled it a mile away. Soon as the FTR turned, I was like, yeah, we're gonna get heel Bucks versus FTR, and they've run this match 100 times.
They think this rivalry is the modern Rock and Roll Express versus the Midnight Express, and it's not. It is so not. It was the novelty of it the first time. It was like, oh, we're going to get the top team on the indies versus the workhorse team from WWE that was never given a fair shake, yada, yada. No, you know something? They can work in the ring. They weren't given a fair shake because they never learned how to do any fucking crowd work.
Yeah, the Briscoes and FTR had a way better rivalry, in my opinion. But these two guys are fucking in Cali, and they were reminiscing about PWG and talking about how they might bring it back one day. Imagine that. You get Tony Khan's money, you do nothing but tank their company, and then reestablish PWG when all's said and done. Holy fuck, right back where you started.
Going back into the archives as of late, but do you all have a favorite moment from your PWG days that really stuck out to you?
There's so many.
Man, there's a lot.
That's a tough question. That's like answering like, who's your favorite kid? Who do you love more?
Candice LeRae, she's one of our favorites.
Shout out to Candice. We actually talked to her the other day.
The ladder match that we had with Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, and the Smash Bros.
Oh, I love that.
Where I invented that spot where you push the ladder and I'd jump straight to the top and do a swan from the floor. Yeah. My son Gregory, he saw a clip of Ricochet doing it on a show that wasn't AEW, and he goes, "Oh, that was such a cool move, Dad. Did you see it?" I go, "Bro, I invented that spot. He
No, you
stole
fucking
it from me
didn't.
that night.
Who invented it, JJ? Tell him.
I know what he's talking about, and I've seen that move done on other indie shows before that PWG show. He's full of shit. The fucking Young Bucks they have their heads so far up their fucking asses. And I can tell you about PWG. Everyone wants to talk about PWG. And here's the thing. I have a close friend. Well, they're not geographically close anymore. They live in California and they work in the entertainment industry now. They're an ex-writer for WWE, and they moved out to Cali, and he would talk about PWG. The reason PWG was so popular was the fact that it was an American Legion Hall and Reseda where people who were popular, like actors and MMA people who didn't want to be seen by the public, could go hang out and drink super cheap because it was an American Legion. So the booze was fucking cheap as hell, and watch wrestling and just bullshit. That's why Ronda Rousey and them would go hang out there, because they could go and not get swarmed by people, because the basement goblins were too busy watching the spot fest in the ring to pay attention to the celebs that were hanging out at the bar. And that's why PWG always sold out. Like, that was the whole thing. It was because it was a Legion Hall with cheap booze where people in Cali could go and not be seen by the looky-loos. That's all.
Wrestling's not fake!
And he laughed, and I had to show him the footage. He's like, "Oh, you were right, Dad."
You mentioned Candace. I have to go back to the original super kick, we called it, the thumbtack.
The super kick.
That was where it was invented in 2014. I miss Super Dragon. RIP PWG. Hopefully you can come back one day. We can resurrect you from the grave.
Yeah, how hilarious is it that Excalibur
Going back into the archives as of late.
Still owns PWG, and he just stopped running it because he made that stupid move to move it into LA, into that big ass fucking not amphitheater, but that big ass venue, and started charging $125 a ticket like a fucking douche.
So I love that you're just fucking destroying everyone right now. I love it. So are you excited to see Bucks FTR, whatever match this is? Are you pumped on Tekla winning this title? Do you think Tommaso dropping it? Like, are they headed in the right direction? Is it just to appease sickos? Do you think it's only going to hurt them? Or, like, I don't know, public perception, I think, is just constantly getting lower and lower when you see Statlander pour her heart out, then just lose the fucking title. Like, even if you're an AEW fan, you're sitting there going, what the hell?
I like Tekla, and the problem is more focus is put on their secondary women's champion right now than there is and on Toni Storm being a comedy act than the actual women's champion. So there's there's no spotlight on that belt. Tommaso was the brand new toy for literally a hot minute, and now he's going to fall into obscurity. We're getting a recycled Bucks versus FTR that no one cares about. People cared about it 6 years ago. People don't care about that anymore. But the Bucks, because the Bucks have creative control of their own shit, and they're like, let's just run this back because we don't have any ideas and we don't want to put anyone over.
Man, speaking of not putting people over, maybe putting them over, just announced Mercedes Monea returns to Arena Mexico on March 6th to defend the CMLL Women's World Championship. So she is going to CMLL. She's also going to be accompanied by Megan Bain and Penelope Ford, aka Mega Bad, who will make their CMLL debuts on March 6th. Or I don't know. I think Megan Bain's been in CMLL before, or no?
I think she made one or two appearances.
Yeah, but next month in Arena Mexico, they'll be there as well. La Noches de las Amazonas. So CMLL really focusing on women's wrestling. A little bit, and they've got their girls down there. Well, I don't know, putting a focus on it at least in the American eye a little bit. But Mercedes Moné is already down in Mexico, and she is Yeah, and she's getting stem cell treatments done. She has undergoing stem cell treatments in Mexico.
She's getting more injections than that. Oh,
oh, oh shit! And so here she is. Let's catch up with her. She announces she's in Mexico undergoing stem cell therapy, and let's pray to God this video works. Because this shit was crashing out before. Oh my God, everything's crashing out. God damn it.
what the hell is she getting stem cell treatments for?
I don't know, probably just aches and pains. Like it is good for you. Like people, if they're able to do it, they should do it, I guess, if you're trying to keep longevity and all of this stuff. And apparently like Mexico and these places do it way cheaper. So a lot of people will go down.
It's hard to get approved to get it done in the US.
Yeah, so like I don't blame her for getting it done. But yeah, she's down there earlier. I don't know if she's just staying in Mexico. Does the Beast live in Mexico, or is he living in America?
No, he lives in Mexico.
Yeah, so that totally could be it. I'm trying to pull this fucking video up. I don't know. Everything seemed to be working swimmingly up until then. Here, I have a super chat. I see this. Sorry, guy. Chris McCarty for 2 says Tekla's done more than Ruby Soho or Camille. Yeah, and where's Ruby Soho at? I mean, she had a good little run.
She had
there.
a kid. She's raising a kid.
Yeah, and she owns like a game bar. Her and Cool Hand Luke, or whatever the fuck they were calling him. Cool Hand Ange Parker, or whatever. And yeah, they're just chilling, and they own like a gaming bar or something, and then or like cafe. And then Camille was just only used for that movie that was coming out that she was in. That's the only reason he put her on TV at all.
Yep.
It was because that movie was coming out and she was a big part of it. So he just used her on TV for a bit. The movie fucking did what it did. It kind of tanked, and then
It didn't get a wide release.
Yeah, and then she just disappeared again because that's all Tone used her for. It was just public perception. Yeah, I don't know. This fucking video isn't loading. Whatever. It's Mercedes Moné talking. You guys would want to delete yourselves listening to that shit. But in other AEW news and appearances, Lance Archer was at MPX, and then all of a sudden he's in AEW again on like Dynamite, hanging out with the Callis family. I don't know if you guys care about that or not, but Bandito is taken off an independent show due to injury, so this guy just can't stay healthy. Nope. I don't know what the fuck is going on with him to where he keeps getting knocked out and shit dislocated and banged up. Will Ospreay. So according to the Observer, flutes in the chat, Brian, AEW's goal is except for Will Ospreay to be back at Wembley Stadium. That's fast, but all along they've talked about a summer return. So they're trying to rush this guy out, and I heard an allegedly that fucking if this was in WWE, his neck would not be cleared.
Nope.
Like if they were in WWE, they'd say you're retired now. But AEW, they're trying to rush, get him out there in time for All In. And speaking of which, they announced that Double or Nothing will be at the Louis Armstrong Stadium in Queens, New York. Known gambling town. And they also announced that they will be back in Wembley Stadium. I know, dude. I'm fucking joking.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, dude. You got to go to Atlantic City for that shit.
I don't think people realize that the Louis Armstrong Arena is like half the size of the Arthur Ashe Stadium. It's like right next to it. It's a little tennis stadium. It's like what colleges used to play at. Like it's not big at all.
And it's irrefutable that Double or Nothing is AEW's WrestleMania / SummerSlam show. Like it is the equivalent, no doubt. So it's because some people say it's All In, which I agree. I think All In is their WrestleMania show, but Double or Nothing at one point was that.
Right.
And then it sort of moved down to like their number 2 like marquee show, and they have to move to the smaller building than they would do fucking Dynamites in or whatever. Right. It's crazy.
I mean,
so
to be fair, I think the Arthur Ashe is getting renovated right now too. So
okay.
But I mean, in that case, like, just find another place in New York. Like, I think they tried getting into the whatever the Felt Forum is called now inside MSG, and they couldn't. The place where NXT runs, because obviously WWE is like, fuck you, we're running here. But and the whole thing is like, Tony could try for the Barclays Center. He won't, because he knows they won't sell there. So he's sticking with this little spot in Queens. Like, I'm surprised he's not trying to run at the there's an outdoor amphitheater in Queens as well. Not Queens, near Queens. It's where my co-host Matt James was going to go see Fish there. They played like 3 dates in a row, and like Chapel Roan played like 5 nights in a row there. But the whole thing is it's in like a residential area. So like everyone who like lives in that area was pissed off at like people like parking on their lawns and shit. And it was like, yeah, Matt said like when Fish was there, like they were literally like drunk people passed out on the sidewalk and taking a dump in their bushes and stuff.
Oh God.
Yeah. But I'm surprised Tony didn't try running there.
Brutal. So All Elite Wrestling returns to Wembley Stadium, though. Talking about dumps. All In is back in the UK at London's iconic venue on Sunday, and you can sign up now for exclusive pre-sale access starting Monday, 3/16, at 10 a.m. Tickets for All In 26 go on general sale Friday, 3/20 at 10 a.m.
If they draw 30,000, it will be a miracle.
Yeah, this is about to be, I think, the most papered house in pro wrestling history.
I mean, the last 2 were papered as hell, and
yes, I know. And this one, I fear, is so. This is the whole 81,000 people, right? So that wasn't 81,000 people. It was like 60,000 fucking people, and then
right according to the gate, yeah.
And then even at the Texas one, they fucking papered the house. Like Thurston exposed that, and so. Or maybe he wasn't the first one, but he definitely piled on and backed everyone up in that. So them going back to Wembley right now, maybe UK people show up, but like they're getting WWE shows and shit now.
Tony's only doing it because the next Mania is going to be in Saudi when they were teasing that it would be in London. So that's why he's like, well, I'm going to go back there. And the whole thing is, yeah, and you were paying for it. London was going to pay TKO for WWE to come.
So is this like what Tone's spending his TV deal on and shit? That's what I fucking...
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
You know, like what else did his TV... Let's say it was 185 million, Brian. Okay, so the roster each year's over 100. And now what the fuck is going on with this? Like he's going to have to come out of pocket. They're going to paper this house so big. So greatly. And like, we'll see,
this is what I don't get. Like, obviously, like you want to make Wembley your thing, but after the second time you went there and it was so embarrassing, the drop off that it was, you own a fucking stadium in the UK. You own Fulham Fieldhouse. Why don't you just try running a show there? Just like how you own a fucking NFL stadium in the US. Why don't you try running a stadium show there? Why? Because you know no one's going to fucking come.
Oh, shit. Dropping bombs today. Yeah, I think that this, like, and I'm sorry, like, I want the wrestlers to have, like, an awesome show with a bunch of people, and they, you know, like, for sure, the boys and girls, again, I know it's shitty that we're shitting on this, but it's like, come on, man. Why would he go to this big ass building other than like, what a great experience we all got to share together, guys? If Tone announced we're doing a bunch of shows, house shows and TVs leading up to Wembley across the UK with like cheap tickets are on the cheap end and we're building up to this show, I'd be pumped, but he's not going to do that is the problem. So he's just going back there and expecting how many people are going to show up. do you think they even hit 30,000? I bet the official number will be around like 40,000. I bet, but that's papered as fuck.
I don't even think they're gonna announce an official number. I think it's
You
gonna be
don't
that
think they'll do
embarrassing.
one?
I
Because
think
here's
it's
the
gonna
thing too.
be
They were
focused, they're going to focus the cameras as much as they can on the ground floor and not show any of the tiers of the stadium because it's going to be empty.
And like the UK fans were kind of starved of pro wrestling in general, and then WWE, they've been going all over Europe and the UK and shit now, and doing big ass house shows and like doing these, you know, like Drew McIntyre going back to Scotland wasn't even on fucking TV. Like that was a house show. So they did these huge fucking shows there, and I don't think they're as starved. I don't think the UK is like dying for just AEW or Chris Jericho.
Dude,
Jericho might not even be in the company who's going to draw.
Right. If I was TKO, I would be a douche right now. I would figure out a way to go to call up fucking Carlos Silva and be like, hey, you know how TNA did those little house shows in the UK? How about we do a combined tour of a few shows sometime around, I don't know, late July. Let's do a 2-week stint of NXT and TNA shows across the aisles of UK and Ireland. Let's just see how it goes. Let's test the waters and just completely obliterate any chance of this show drawing anywhere near a good amount of people.
So you would be fucking petty, dude.
need to obliterate.
Absolutely. Because Tony's being petty going to Wembley again. He's only going because WWE isn't this year or next year.
And do you think it's gonna be that embarrassingly bad? Like how this can't pay off in any way. What are they gonna charge for tickets? People aren't gonna want to pay that much, and especially when they know that they just get given away. You know?
Right. No one's gonna go. Like it's the law of diminishing returns has been showing in AEW across the board now, not only stateside, but across the sea. Like the first Wembley was a larf and they had to go and inflate the numbers because Tony's a fragile Nepo baby. And then the second year they went back and they drew like half the amount of people. Like they're screwed. It's going to be even worse this time.
How dare you say that about
the best guys, Tony Khan.
So speaking of overseas, at New Beginning, Ricochet has called out Taiji Ishimori and Gates of Agony want the Knockout Brothers in New Jersey at New Beginning USA. So that's good for them, but they're not distancing from AEW like I had hoped they did. And I don't know, this might turn off American fans, maybe New Japan. Nobody's turning up unless they have AEW people there. I don't know, man. But that whole Nuge in America, that whole experiment, I think they need to find a way to boost it up. And in order to do that, you got to team with NXT and shit. I don't see it. Fucking, you got to team with WWE or something. So I beat this to death. I hope that's what happens. It seems like WWE might try and really blow Noah up, but could they compete with New Japan, or is that even their goal? I don't know. We'll see. Anna Jay updates, raises questions about her AEW future as contract expiration nears. Speaking of NXT and whatnot, would you sign Anna Jay?
No.
I would, but not if Jack Perry's going to be following her around. People were saying that she's broken up with him or they broke up or something. Which, whatever, I'm not going to, good for her, I guess. Not to be a dick, but good. And yeah, if she goes to NXT, that'd be awesome. But if Jungle Jack's back there and Punk is back there working with some of the kids, like, someone's going to get smacked. A table might get bumped. Tony Khan might fear for his life. So, yeah. Her contract's coming up, and I guarantee Shawn Michaels will make a play for her. Bryan Danielson says he won't close off coming back to Wrestle after seeing Adam Copeland's physical therapist who helped him so much. Like, come on, Danielson, hang it up, buddy. You're done. Like, I just don't want to see him die in the ring. He says, I don't close it off. Maybe in April of 25. Copeland sent me to this physical therapist. He said the guy was a miracle worker. This guy worked on me for 2 days in a row, 6 hours each day. After the first night, I slept 9 hours straight. After the second night, I slept 8 hours straight. After that, I was sleeping 7 or 8 hours almost every night. That's a game changer for how you feel. Absolutely it is, but don't go and undo all that shit by slamming your head into people and fucking diving around the ring and everything. I love Danielson, but like he is so fucking banged up. And then Dave as well this week was like, oh, I thought he was going to WWE, and everyone's like, Dave, who the fuck said that? Nobody said.
Nobody ever said that.
You're just making that shit up, man. Oh, he's just such a dumbass. Clark Connors, we talked about New Japan and whatnot. He is officially in AEW, but it's a fucking botch because it's like, buddy, he's had matches on Collision like last week or something. He had a match on Collision. So it's not like, oh my God, Clark Connors is official. He's already been wrestling in AEW here and there. So he's just Gabe Kidd. Everyone's like, oh yeah, that guy. I think I recognize him, whatever. And he's just, again, they're not going to, he took money.
We've got a new butterfly cowboy.
Yeah. You know, Hangman's going to be written off soon because of all the drama they're fucking causing them.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, moving along here. So, but shout out Clark Connors. I'm not even hating on the dude, but Jesus Christ.
Right, get paid.
So, speaking of getting paid for doing nothing, Deonna Purrazzo says that she's only had one match in 2026, and she says,
Cry me a river.
She says, let's change that ASAP. Who wants to be fluent in Purrazzo? Deonna Purrazzo bookings at gmail.com, and she's signed to AEW. Not only that, she's like in Tony Khan's ROH, they created like the women's pure title or whatever. She's the inaugural pure champion of ROH or whatever too. Can't even get a match. Brought her in, people were excited, did fucking nothing with her. Ghost Town, she can't even get a fucking match. She needs to get booked on indies.
Dude, you know what I find completely hilarious? The targeted commercials I get on Sling for the the cord cutting. When SmackDown is on, is for Southern New Hampshire University. It's an online degree program, and it's Deonna Purrazzo sitting on a wrestling ring apron talking about, I got my degree while I was wrestling and blah blah blah. And I'm like, and it's always in the side by side with whatever match is going on. I'm like, this is the closest Deonna Purrazzo is ever going to get to WWE ever again.
Yeah, because I saw that shit aired on like SmackDown or something. I remember like it aired on a Dynamite as well, like during a week where everyone's like, where's Deonna Purrazzo been? And then she's like, I'll be on TV or whatever. And then it was that commercial.
Yeah, no.
And it's like, buddy, what is going on?
She is,
why does Tone just fucking do this to everybody though?
I mean, Tony's a piece of shit who doesn't know how to book people, but Deonna Purrazzo is nothing fucking special. Like, I'm sorry, I don't understand like why people are like, oh my God, the virtuosa. No, she's never been any fucking good.
Well, she's like a solid mid-upper fucking wrestler, I'd say. No, like in a women's division. I don't know. I like her. She got no reactions on the main roster and shit, but it's like neither does Julia, and she fucking rules. So
the only time I ever paid attention to her was when Kimber Lee was with her before Kimber Lee went off the fucking deep end too.
Well, speaking of going off the deep end and being missing, Britt Baker, DMD, she was at the EA Sports Madden NFL, whatever the fuck. And she's there for some reason, invited to this Madden thing. She looks in great shape. She's abbed up. She's tanned. And for some reason, she's just not being booked either. Tone was like, oh, we'll see her soon. But I don't know, man. What do you think? She comes back to AEW. What is that going to do for her? She's so green in the ring the last time we saw her. She needs to be getting reps in.
Yeah, the thing is that's another one where Tony's doing nothing with her, but she also has a giant chip on her shoulder and kind of sucks and has been around long enough where she hasn't improved. So we don't know if she's ever going to improve.
Man, it's crazy how many of these ladies are just fucking disappeared. Someone posted a graphic of all the women's champions, and in it, they had, the first 5 champions listed. Obviously, it was like Rio, Nyla Rose, who else? Britt Baker, Sheeta. And I was like, damn, it's crazy that all 5 of the first 5 champions are still signed to AEW, but they're just nowhere to be found. They're just
and
fucking
Thunder Rosa.
And Thunder Rosa's the other one. Yes, thank you. And it's like they're just all missing. What the fuck? So the Super Bowl was this last weekend. Did you watch the Super Bowl?
I caught the last 5 minutes of the second quarter, and I watched the halftime show, and that was about it.
Yeah, it wasn't a great game, and both of the halftime shows.
I'm not a Seahawks fan, and I hate the fucking Patriots, so I just didn't care.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't. That's just it. I just didn't really give a fuck. But I'll put over the kicker again. Like the kicker set a couple records or whatever. So on the Seahawks, so shout him out. But anyways, Big Boom, AJ, and Big Justice, and all of them were there rocking AEW gear.
That's
rocking
nice.
it. I think this is the same hoodie that dude who chained those people up in his basement had as well. So
I guarantee those were tickets that Tony had, and Tony didn't go because I think they give they give all the NFL owners like a handful of tickets, and I guarantee Tony was like, I don't want to be seen here, Big Boom. Go rep our company.
I'll only be seen in a neck brace in the NFL. And then Swerve Strickland and Darby Allin pulled up, and they were probably cheering for the Seahawks, and they were hanging out, and so shout them out. We're going to talk about Tony Khan. We have little thises and that's, though. DC and AEW fans in Ontario for Dynamite tonight. We've got a comic book giveaway for you. The first 5 people to show us their purchase copy of the AEW DC book #1 at the main merch stand tonight will get an autographed variant signed by one of the AEW cover stars.
The first 5 people. I guarantee 3 people showed up at that merch stand.
Oh my God. That's so funny. So I'm going to read this comic on Patreon with a friend of mine who is a comic book creator who successfully crowdfunded and is currently crowdfunding a comic book himself, and we're going to react to this and read it on Patreon. We're going to do AEW DC Origins first, though. Okay. But so patreon.com/ProWrestleTimes. But that's so funny, a variant cover. Like, how many people do you think had those? Do you think they gave away all 5?
Doubtful.
Yeah. So people talked about Tone. We're going to talk about Tone and hear what he had to say. Wrestlers, though, in AEW talked about their favorite pizza. Okay.
I'm sorry.
No, absolutely.
In the middle of Pizzagate.
This is great.
Have you seen these files talking about pizza in this climate? Lock them up.
Absolutely not. And if you say yes, I'm a nice guy, but I will fight you. I will spit in your face. I'll kick you in the balls. Do not put pineapple on pizza.
Pineapple's pretty damn good on pizza.
I'm open to the idea. I've never had it.
Gotta have a little sweet with the savory.
Definitely, yes.
Yeah, I love pineapple.
Always.
And I'm afraid I've had a change of heart. I'm a no pineapple on pizza girl. But when I visit home, I'm sure I'll give it a taste again.
I'm getting a Hawaiian pizza with jalapenos.
Yeah, that rules. And also pepperoni and pineapple.
Pepperoni, especially for a new spot, we're going to judge it on their pepperoni.
Like Kevin McAllister, I like cheese pizza only.
It depends on where I'm getting.
It's not called cheese pizza. It's just called pizza. Okay.
Right. My pizza, but a nice plain slice. I'm from New Jersey. I'm Italian. Plain slice always hits.
Black olives. I do like pepperoni also, but usually if I do black olives, I'll do just black olives.
Probably a meat lovers. I like the meat lovers.
Mine is definitely a meat lovers pizza. That's my go-to. Oh, come on, brother. That's same. That's why we're on tag team.
Yes, sir.
You walking around Naples and you're starving, and then there's this tiny little pizza store, and it's open, and they only serve 2 pizzas. You only have margarita or one of the other ones. I didn't get the other one. I got the margarita, and it was the best pizza I've ever had in my entire life.
No, what are these questions? Just pick up the pizza and eat it.
See, this is why I like to change it up a little bit. I like the hot honey on top a little bit like that. If we are going to do sauce.
That sounds fire.
I like to just get that chili oil stuff, and I like to drown it in it.
The chili,
Never use a dipping sauce. Pizza only.
Marinara.
I love ranch with pizza.
Ranch. Dip it in the ranch. Go crazy with it.
I would do none.
This is all crazy. I don't know if you guys have read those files, but I mean, God, they're just admitting the craziest stuff.
Dude, oh yeah.
This means if you guys know the code, this is all like really disturbing, disgusting things.
Tony Schiavone just revealed a lot about himself.
Yeah. So yeah, that was AEW wrestlers and their pizza. In other little side newses of this is and that's, AEW Collision is going to go head to head with the Elimination Chamber. That's good stuff. So, moving along here, Ricochet, Fingershay,
Trevor
got busted up by Doc Samson here, and Doc Samson defends Jimmy Corderas here in this video. I hope this place videos are fucking up. Some of them work, and then some of them are just fucking up today.
Right.
So he goes on to bury Fingershay. Maybe we'll just talk about that next time. We will, because I don't know. I'm not gonna fucking fuck around with the video. But Tony Khan, okay? Tony Khan, some wrestlers talked about Tone and they were kind of putting Tone over, and he had a couple things that he said in
Tony
some
Khan.
interviews. And so he says more AEW signings are coming soon. Which, like, why, man? Get people over.
200 people on your payroll right now.
Tony Khan had this to say: I am constantly evaluating the market and scouting for fantastic wrestlers if they are available to join AEW. AEW is where the best wrestle, and it will be for a long time.
No.
He's getting cocky, man. He's getting cocky about, is it cockiness or desperation with the whole Netflix WB thing?
It's both. It's desperate. It depends on how much blow he's done when he makes a statement. It's either desperation or he does a bump and then it's cockiness.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, man. So moving along here, Harley Cameron talked about Tony Khan, and she said, the thing is, Tony is passionate and he cares. We aren't just numbers. This isn't a thing that makes you feel like you're part of the machine. He will sit there and genuinely be excited and thankful. And isn't it crazy? Like, Harley Cameron is saying this at the same time Statlander saying what she's saying. You know, it's just so funny. Yeah, you're one of his favorite pets right now. I love Harley Cameron, though. I'm not going to shit on her, but it's just funny. Like, when you're in Tony's good graces, like, people speak about him one way, and then when he just throws you away, like one of Andy's old toys, then they all start fucking complaining and crying and losing sight of themselves and shit. But she says most industries don't have that. How rare is it to have a boss that is so passionate? Here's the thing, though, Harley Cameron. Apparently, he won't sit down with a bunch of people, and he's hard to communicate with, and that's a shoot. So, yes, I'm sure he loves sitting down with you and fucking talking to you. I'm sure of it. But she says Tony cares about us as individuals. That is so special. He's there for every single match and show. He doesn't miss anything. Then when you come behind those curtains, he's there for you and very supportive. Okay, fair enough. He's a nice guy. Nobody ever really questioned whether or not he was a nice fellow or not. Chris Jericho, though, had this to say, or pardon me, spoke with Tekla, who, as we covered earlier in the show, you know, Tekla won the title after Chris Statlander was devastated, fucking crying on TMZ about, like, I don't know who I am as a person and shit. So shout out Talk is Jericho. I hope we do see him in WWE, but again, April Fool's Day Dynamite is in Winnipeg. So if he just swerves everyone, that'll be fucking hilarious, but it'll make so many people mad, and it's not going to help AEW, so why do it? But here's him talking with Tekla about Tony Khan and what she thinks of him, and then all of a sudden she wins the title on Wednesday. Kris Statlander's like, no, I just got to be confident in me and be like, fuck you guys, this is who I am. And then she's like crying about, you know, how she hasn't been able to find herself in AEW. Then she gets the title taken off her. Tekla says this gets the title. Kind of crazy.
Wind down. How do you like working with Tony Khan? Does he give you a lot of freedom to do what you want to do?
I think so. Yeah, I like him a lot. He's really nice. The first time we met, it was really fun. He gave me coffee and he gave me a big bottle of water. I was like, I like that guy.
That's Tony. He's always got coffee and tons of water.
Yeah.
The green bottles of water.
Yeah, I got the green bottle and I showed it to people and they're like, "You got the green bottle?" I was like, "Yeah."
I never got a green bottle.
I've never seen people mark out so much
I
over
think
fucking
Tony's
Perrier.
great. I think he
Mark out so much over Perrier. Yeah, dude. Oh man, I got a green bottle of ginger ale, you motherfuckers.
he's a saint, you know. He's doing something that hasn't been done before, and you know, he's taking care of so many people, and he's doing it all by himself. And
What's that?
She's like, he's doing something that hasn't been done before. What exactly would that be?
I know, just doing Nuge and Ring of Honor mixed together. Yeah. So she loves the freedom she gets.
can't imagine doing something like that all by myself.
Right.
So I definitely have a lot of respect for him, and I think I can't wait to see where AEW is going to go in the future.
Wind down. How do you like working with Tony Khan? Does he?
So again, I like Tekla. And I hope she doesn't get any on her because of this. And I don't think this is like I'm just gonna smooch up to Tony and whatever. But she's like new there, and he's been sort of not protecting her in like I don't mean that in like a harsh way, but he's like, she's won a lot of matches. She's the leader of a group. She fucking, you know, he's clearly been like, okay, we're gonna build her up type thing. And so I hope she doesn't get in. Like, I'm not mad that she's the champ. I'm not even mad at any of this, but I just think it's kind of like people called it. Watch Kris get punished for this. She loses her belt right away. What else could it be? Why is everyone picking up on these patterns, Tone? Why does everybody see it? I look and see it's not just me. Getting banished to Ring of Honor. So many of us are now in Ring of Honor. We're all in Ring of Honor now. Okay, so MJF was the center of some news, and same with Brody King. We'll start with MJF, who did some interviews here. He says he wasn't upset when his talking scene in the Iron Claw. This is from Insight with Giga Chad, Chris Van Vliet. He wasn't upset when his scene in the Iron Claw was cut from the movie. He says that he had a 5-minute talking scene with Zac Efron, who he became really tight with on set. I would hang out with him in the trailer. He was a nice guy, blah, blah, blah. He just goes on to say, look, I was an executive producer on the film. So they were like, oh, I'm so sorry, your fucking scene's cut. And I was like, whatever. It's too long and we need it to be a good flick. He is in it for like a split second. It's like a hair. He lands a drop kick and then he does like a pose or whatever as the camera's like panning in on fucking on Efron's face or whatever as he's like awaiting a hot tag or whatever. So he's in it for a sec, but yeah, he's an executive producer, so he don't give a fuck. Like, his name was on that in a whole other way that will help establish him in Hollywood either way. So that's not an L for MJF. I actually, you know, I'm an MJF fan. I will say that. I get it. It's kind of cringy. Some of his shit's played out. I think he's kind of holding back a bit till he goes to the Fed. Speaking of which, he talked about it flat out, how the Fed would sign him. He's like, yeah, they want to sign me. And he says he'll represent whichever company signs him as long as the money's right. And he says that WWE was interested in me. They're still very much interested in me, and I understand why. And of course, even if he's working and he's never had conversations with them, which obviously he knows that they are interested in him and they always would be, he's like a guy that's like a dagger to Tone's heart if you steal him away. Even though that's the case, or let's say he's working, like the smart thing to do working is like, yep, they're into me and they'll pay me too. And everyone wants me, you know? So again, I'm all good with MJF saying all this shit. I think he's doing the right thing. And he tried to put AEW as much as he could, but this is kind of a slap in AEW's face. Like, again, just another guy saying, yeah, if the money's right, I'll stay in AEW type thing. Just talking about WWE. Yeah, they want me and I'll go there. Like you speak about it as though it's the big leagues, you know?
Right.
And he goes,
the bidding war of 2024 all over again.
Yeah, and he goes, I'm going to broadcast how important those 3 letters are, AEW. Those 3 letters are just as important as these because you're paying me to say that. Now, do I believe it's true? You'll never know. And that's the beauty of it. No matter. He would just say, I truly believe. Hey, guess what, MJF? Ric Flair said, I truly believe WCW is better than those guys. He said it a bunch of times on TV. MJF's like, yeah, you know, you're paying me to say AEW is better than WWE. So I'm going to fucking say that. Do I really believe it? You'll never know. Yeah, because you don't believe it. And you're going to fucking leave one day. And it's just so obvious.
I guarantee that when he signs with WWE, one of the very first vignettes he will do will be of him sitting on the beach in khaki shorts and sandals just to show that that tattoo on the back of his leg is a fake and doesn't exist anymore.
Do you think?
Absolutely, dude. That was a fucking fake tattoo if I've ever seen one.
It's like the worst tat ever, too. It looks so bad. So he says, you'll never know, and that's the beauty of it. No matter what promotion I'm working for, I'm going to shamelessly shill what's going on. That's the beauty. And it's just funny saying it. No matter which promotion, just talking about he'll leave AEW tomorrow to go to WWE. Oh, man. It's kind of a slap in the fucking face. But he had a message for fans for WWE fans specifically who don't watch AEW.
What I would say to a WWE fan who you don't even have to necessarily be disenfranchised by your like company that you call your home base being WWE. If you've not watched us yet,
none of these. No, here's the problem. None of the WWE people are like, this is my home base for the most part. It's mostly sickos who do that shit with AEW. And WWE fans are fucking, for the most part, because it's mostly casuals and shit. There isn't that thing, dude. And all like 6 or 7 years ago, all the lapsed fans know about AEW and they tried AEW out, and then they either dipped out of wrestling completely again, or they just went back to watching WWE. Yep. I don't know why this is so hard for everyone to understand in the fucking AEW sphere.
I truly don't understand what you're waiting for. I feel that we make gourmet food and we work very hard.
It's just so
that is literally a Meltzer fed line that Tony told him to say. That is literally the Wagyu beef line.
I know, man. It's so bad. We make this food, okay, and then who gives out the fucking Michelin stars? Dave Meltzer? Like, come on, man. It's the dumbest thing ever. Then why aren't you Gordon Ramsay, the Gordon Ramsay of wrestling? The top #1 motherfucker in wrestling. You're not. WWE is, you know? Name famous chefs, and people will say, oh, Gordon Ramsay and, like, Guy Fieri. And he's not even really a fucking chef. The guy just drives around.
Matty Matheson, motherfucker. You're Canadian, for fuck's sake.
I know. I know, but like, but let's be honest. Gordon Ramsay, like even that Emerald dude, he fucking bam. You remember that guy? Bam. When he throw the salt.
Mario Batali before he got caught for being a sex pest.
Yeah. So all I'm saying is there's a lot of these chefs, but like, why aren't you Gordon Ramsay then, bitch?
Right.
I think our pay-per-views are the best. It's not even close. I think our matches are the best.
AEW is fucking Mayor McDouble or whatever when they used
Mayor
to have
Mayor McCheese.
Yeah, Mayor McCheese, dude. When they used to have the whole fucking the Big Mac was the Officer Big Mac or whatever.
Yep.
Fucking that's what AEW is, dude.
And we have the best promo guy in the business who's sitting right here. So if you've not watched our product before and you're watching this interview, we're on at Wednesdays at 8 p.m. on TBS and HBO Max. We're on Saturdays on TNT and HBO Max at 8 p.m., both Eastern Standard Time. Give us a watch. And if you don't want to give us a watch because you somehow feel indebted to one company, that's really, you're weird And B,
that's not a problem.
This
That's
just-
not even a thing.
This reminds me of that scene in the movie Walk Hard where he's doing the interview with Jane Lynch and he's like, we're on Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. and I'm no longer on PCP.
Yeah. Man, it's just so funny because he's talking about like, oh, if you just feel like you can't watch AEW because it's WWE, nobody. That's not an issue. Like, there's a reason you guys had 1 million viewers and then now you don't. People fucking watched AEW and they went, this is shit. And then they dipped out. And it's not like indebted. The only people who feel indebted are the sickos. Address it. None of you fucking wrestlers address it.
I feel bad for you because you're missing out on me. And that is the biggest crime of them all.
Yeah, so that last line's good.
What I would say,
Jesus Christ, man. Just couldn't be fucking more off base. And so MJF was also involved in a match with Brody King, and before it, the fuck ice chants rang out, fuck ice, and all that. And then MJF made this hilarious face, which is funny. And man, his hair growth, whatever procedure he got done, is fucking working tremendously for him. But it looks like not his hair for some reason, you know?
It does when you first I know people that it's that whether it's you're doing the hymns route or you're doing the actual like you have to it's like you actually like get follicle treatment and have to do like red light treatment each day and stuff. It does kind of look like doll hair for the first
like it doesn't
months.
look like his hair, you know, but hopefully that works out. But apparently, according to Fightful, AEW was very happy with the media attention from the fuck ice chants on Dynamite this week. So they were happy with the media attention they got from like MSNBC and TMZ and whatnot. And then that's when according to PWI, Brody King was never scheduled for yesterday's Dynamite. Well, actually, we're skipping over stuff. So a fan allegedly denied entry to AEW Dynamite over a Ballish Ice shirt. So again, Tone got a talking to.
Which is literally the shirt that Brody was selling.
Exactly. And Tone got a talking to after Hangman said that shit. He got a talking to after Brody did that shit. I guarantee it. And then after the fuck ice chant, I don't know if they were happy with the media they got, because then why are they turning fans away over wearing Abolish Ice shirts if they're happy with the fact that they got good media? You'd think they would want more of that, no? But that's because that was a lie spin by fucking journalists, or that's what somebody told. I'm not even saying Fightful lied about shit. Someone could have lied to them, though. Someone doing PR could have been like, hey,
right,
no,
just
we're happy about it, you know?
It was just like the people that said like, oh, we want cross signs at WWE and our signs were taken away, and then you still see them holding the signs, like
right. Yeah. So it's like if they were really pumped about it, then they wouldn't have kicked people out and whatever. Dirt sheets can report what they're going to report, but then that's when all of a sudden Brody King, and this report comes from the Wrestling Observer. So ladies and gentlemen, get your flutes in the chat, because it is time for a mini segment that is its own show called #DMDMW, which takes place on Thursdays this week, Friday, Time Cop, and it is called Dave Meltzer Dumb Moment of the Week.
Or, you know, the young superstar, you know, babyface, you know, that former heel thing.
So the Observer says, WBD apparently blocked Brody King from appearing on this week's Dynamite due to anti-ice chants. Now, it's hilarious that this guy's the laziest fucking journalist in the world. Before I even get to the rest of this, you didn't just pick up the phone and ask Tone what was true. And let's say Tone kept him off, and they were kicking fans out with the Abolish Ice shirts, allegedly. So where's that coming from? Is that coming from AEW, or is that coming from WBD or whatever? But the problem is that WBD just got blamed for this Trey Miguel shit, and everybody went, I don't think that's fucking true. Right. Now they're getting blamed for this shit when the media landscape, we've covered this, Nicolo Piccolo's done long-ass threads about this, how it's just shifting more conservative and shit, and they're not, it is what it is, man. Warner Bros, they're not trying to fuck around and like isolate. All these media companies are trying to stop like isolating certain sections of their audience and stuff like that, right? So which is whenever you take a stance politically in this climate, in this day and age, that's what happens. You isolate people. And so Warner Bros. Threw their hands up and just called this shit out and fucking pwned Dave, and I love it. And we're going to make fun of him big time on DMW for this as well. And another one where he got smashed to oblivion. But I just need to fucking throw it out there. WBD just smashes Dave. Everything you're about to hear is a lie, and he's so lazy he couldn't just pick up the phone and figure this out. And he's supposed to be this, I'm an expert in television, Brian. So you don't have a WB source and a wrestling source, cross-reference the sources, figure out what the true story is. You just made this up because, and it's Dave putting blame on WB after they took blame for some other shit that I don't even think they had a hand in. And then they go, whoa, buddy, not this time. And so anyways, Dave Meltzer had this to say. The deal is that they didn't want the fans in the arena to be chanting that, except if Brody came out, and maybe Brian was saying some of this dumb shit, but if Brody came out, there was that risk. When he comes back, it will happen again. I don't know how they're going to handle it. This is, again, not a Tony call. Sweeping, protecting the best guy.
The best guy is Tony Khan.
And he goes, this is from above. Fuck you. You know what it is. Nobody wants to get on Trump's bad side. If it wasn't for that, nobody would care. Here's the thing, man. The cons donate to fucking Trump, so they're already on his good side. This doesn't make a god. Like, shut up.
I can tell you exactly what this was all about. Well, I'll let you finish, and then I'll tell you exactly what is going on.
It's just a chant, but unfortunately, they've, got a company they're trying to sell and get regulatory approval from a guy who is going to take that stuff personal. Now, they got a company they're trying to sell. Yeah, like they mean to advertisers and shit, right?
Yeah.
Or is that like a Freudian slip? Tony's just gonna dump this thing once fucking Netflix.
Well, no, because he knows the moment the Netflix Warner Brothers merger goes through, Discovery's going to be like, that
we're
contract
good.
That is null and void.
That's just how it is. No Brody King on the show when he and MJF absolutely should have had a segment on the show. But nope, it just turns out Tone's a bad booker, and because he's a bad booker, Dave ran out there to fucking sweep and pretend like it was something it fucking wasn't. Now remember, Dave says he's a television expert, a pro wrestling expert, and a political expert. He truly thinks all of these things, and he couldn't bother. He failed on some political shit, making it about political shit when it wasn't. He failed in the wrestling aspect, and he failed in the television department. So Warner Bros. Discovery issued the following statement on Brody King. WBD did not have any involvement in Brody King's upcoming AEW schedule. Any speculation to the contrary is categorically false. Brody is scheduled to appear during the next AEW event, which will air this Saturday on TNT and HBO Max. AEW have also said to Sean Ross Sapp that the rumors of Brody King being blocked from Dynamite by WBD are totally untrue. You got felted by your son, Tony Khan. You couldn't even just call fucking Tone up. You couldn't just call him, buddy.
And I love how you're reading this from freaking Cuntaholic when they were the ones that initially ran with the Dave just said this about Brody not being allowed on the show. And you don't see it saying retraction on the top of this. They're just like, oh no, we're just reporting this too.
It's so bad, dude. So bad. And these motherfuckers, so AEW and WBD shut Dave down. And so Brody King, according to PWI, was never scheduled for yesterday's Dynamite. Brody and others flew out of LAX last night to Australia, requiring them to miss Dynamite due to the travel schedule.
And yeah,
Even that. Meltzer Inferno.
So there's part of that too, is Tony being a shitty booker, because yes, it's a long flight to Australia. It's a 19+ hour flight, but for them to have to fly out on Tuesday for a Saturday show, they could have worked Wednesday.
Why didn't they just fucking film something like a vignette between the two,
film,
like where
film
they're
a
in
vignette
yeah.
on at the collision taping, and then just air it on the screen.
That's so stupid. It's just the worst booker, man.
Right,
That's
it's a
all
title match, and you're like, "Yep, we're not going to talk about it." But yeah, so the whole thing is, the whole thing with this situation is, and I actually talked a little bit about it when I was on This Is Awful on Saturday night. The issue is, okay, so the crowd, there was the crowd doing the fuck ice chant. It got picked up by some news outlets and everything. And like, there's some like even independent news stuff that I watched that like tapped into it. And they were like, oh, there's a wrestling company that's not WWE. Like, that's how like not a blip on the radar AEW is. They had no clue who the wrestlers in the ring were. And they had that still of MJF, and they're like, Mr. Wrestler Man with this like timeless look. Like, no one cares. Anyways. So the whole thing going into it is, okay, so you have this arena with about like 1,200 people in it who started the fuck ice chant with Brody King in there. Okay, that's great because Brody like sold those shirts and like the proceeds went to help families that had been hurt by ice. And that's all great. Like I commend Brody for that. But the fact that he's been wearing that shirt for 6 months, and this is the first time a crowd has broken into that chant, like shows that it's not that effective. Like it shows that it was a crowd that was going into business for themselves because they wanted to be the show. It's like Full Sail. It's it's the NXT crowd.
I agree with you though. I agree with you. Like that crowd just was on that same energy that night, and that's totally fine. But it's not like it's going to carry out to every single show.
And the other thing is, the only reason I could see of Brody not being on the show last night, besides Tony being a shitty booker, is I guarantee this is what happened. Is I guarantee Tony probably got contacted by someone from WBD because they went, your television show is TV 14. Yes, you're on cable, but in America, at least international broadcast, it doesn't matter. But in America, your TV show is not rated TVMA. You cannot have F-bombs on your show. You are on a 5-second delay and did not mute the fucks from the crowd like WWE does. We just got fined by the FCC. You're paying for that fine. And so Tony went, oh no, I can't have Brody on the show this week.
You think that's what happened?
I guarantee it. I guarantee Tony got a fine for the F-bombs from the crowd, and he let it slip to Dave. And Dave fucking was like, oh, well, that's why they couldn't be on there, Brian, because the crowd is going to no, it doesn't matter what they were saying. It's the matter that the crowd was dropping F-bombs and Tony didn't mute it, and he has a TV 14 show. It's not rocket science.
Damn. Well, Brandon Thurston piped in and he goes, WBD statement to post. Warner Bros. Discovery did not have any involvement in Brody King's upcoming AEW schedule. An AEW official with direct knowledge of the subject affirmed WBD's denial of the source informed Post Wrestling that Meltzer's report is incorrect and that WBD's statement is true. Now, here's the thing with Dave, too, is that he fucked around, and so many of these journalists he's taken shots at, and, you know, he's just fucked around so much that these other sheets can't wait to jump on him, too. And it's just been historically a terribly fucking bad start of a year for Dave. And he says those at AEW have said nobody from WBD asked them not to use Brody King on last night's show. And this was just how it was booked, to only use him in a video package. We had heard over the weekend that there were concerns about how much pub the situation had gotten from the WBD side. But those at AEW said that they were not told not to put him on the show. So why the fuck did you say that that's what happened? And then he just played it off, which we'll cover on Dave Meltzer Dumb Moment of the Week. He just played it off like, oh, yeah, you know, I was – what the fuck? He didn't say I was told this or whatever. He said some dumb shit. We'll cover it tomorrow. Time cop. But basically he just tried to absolve himself of any responsibility on that. And then he reports it. He puts out a tweet quickly reporting it like anyone told him. Like, why didn't you just pick up the phone and figure that out before we know Tony calls you? He's just such a fucking walking L. So ladies and germs, let's get into videos. Do we do this fucking Tony Khan EFAP chat? Do we do this Tony Khan EFAP, or do we just do Fed news? Chris McCarty.
I was gonna say you had a super chat.
Chris McCarty for 5 says it is the year anniversary for Wednesday. Fake fan fill, dude. I know, and I bookmarked the Wednesday 1 year anniversary. It's the 1 year anniversary. Maybe we'll jump back on board with the Wednesday. Yeah, it's just the bit. It did its thing for a while, and then the Thursday kind of threw it off. Thank you so much for the support. And yeah, so I bookmarked that because it is the year anniversary. Way to blow up the lead, King. So this was Tony Khan. Should we do this one? Jesus Christ. Videos are acting wonky. Maybe it won't let us today. We'll see. Let's see if it works. And if it doesn't, we'll do it on another show. No,
I don't understand the anime pic of Tony with a gun. I don't get it.
I don't know. It's like some John Wick shit. We're about, is it not going to play? I wanted to roast this so bad. He always shows off art. He's always like, here's a painting that I love from my house growing up. Here's a painting I made in the 6th grade. Oh, look at this funky wall design over here. Like, it's always some shit like that he's trying to show off, and it's cringe, man. I don't get it. So someone made him an anime thing. We'll do this. We'll EFAP this one another time because the video's being fucky for some reason. I don't know what happened today with StreamYard, or maybe it's my browser. I don't fucking know, but everything's fucking up. But yeah, we're gonna do some WWE news here though, folks. And yeah, I'm probably going to go live Sunday as well. Maybe, I don't know. We'll check in and see how everything's going with that, considering I'm not going live Saturday again. So I'm going to pull up WWE news. Make sure you guys check out Full Circle Radio on YouTube. My guy JJ_Alexander on X. And make sure you support your boy Phil Marks. Sign up for PWT Patreon, Pro Wrestle Times on Patreon. Let me see here. I need to bookmark that in another folder. Eric Bischoff responding to Dave. Oh my God. Okay, no, I guess that shit's acting funky too.
It's not the real Tony. There's only 2 cups there, not 3.
Where?
In that video. Sorry, I was looking at the Tony video of him and Danielson. Tony's only got 2 cups, not 3.
Yeah, it was a clone. Tone's clones, man. Tone's clones. That's what it is. Let's see if bookmarking things work, or is it just gonna fucking not work again? Okay, there you go. That worked. So let's get into WWE news. Shout out Eric Bischoff as well. Uncle E, Easy. So yeah, I want you to talk. I'm glad I got you here because we got some WWE tryout stuff to get into. Let's head over here to, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for WWE news. And I'm sorry about the video. EFAP some of those on the next live show. Dave Meltzer, Dumb Moment of the Week, live tomorrow. Time Cop. So Dream Chaser, Zoe Sager. Are you familiar? She has a WWE ID tryout.
Name doesn't ring a bell.
She's a prospect Canadian professional wrestler trained by
Canada,
Lance Storm and Michael Richard Blaze.
I mean, if she was trained by Lance, like Lance knows what he's doing.
And so Irisha Demia, I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. Irisha Demia has received an invitation for the NXT WWE tryout, or the next, WWE tryout. I'm dyslexic. And so are you familiar with her or no?
That name sounds vaguely familiar.
There you go. Valentina Rossi is headed to a WWE tryout after her comeback this year.
Yeah, that's good.
So, yeah, that's good for her. Again, man, they're just scooping up all these ladies. The future for women's wrestling so bright. So, Valentina Rossi. Oh, go ahead.
They need another booker in NXT because Sean just has a hard on for pushing women, and NXT has become a like an 80% women's show, which I'm fine with women wrestlers, but it's not even 50-50 anymore. Like you drop a needle on NXT and it's a women's match or a women's segment. Like either make a separate women's show at this point or like get another booker in to tell Sean, listen, you need to start pushing some of the guys down here.
So Valentina Rossi had this to say. Cat's out of the bag. Words cannot describe how grateful and excited I am for this opportunity. After getting injured right after my last tryout and having to start back at zero to have having the craziest year of my life, I'm ready. WWE recruit. So yeah, she had a tryout before, got hurt, and I think that she's going to hopefully make an impact in this next one. Someone who for surely will make an impact in this next one, viral pro wrestler Nikki Blackheart has officially got a WWE tryout, and I was waiting for someone to scoop her up, and she's going to do wonders in NXT, and I think she'll be headed to the main roster. She'll be one of those girls that might not even have to be in NXT too long. Maybe she's got to shake some of the greenness, but she's a big powerhouse. You're starting to see like the women's division in WWE main roster getting like a heavyweight division almost. Some of these girls like Rhea, Nia, Lash, like some of these girls are fucking big. She'd fit right in there, and I'm glad that she's getting a tryout. You're familiar with her, right?
Oh yeah. That's a well-deserved.
Yeah, and like her gear looks awesome already. She's flipping off the buckle. I think her spine buster or whatever was going viral. She's jacked up, ready to go. So I'm here for it. The WWE ID showcase. So Gabe Sapolsky says, just got to look at the venue. FSW Vegas is running during WrestleMania week, first class, and looks like it'll be a great experience for fans. I'm excited about the ID showcase there. Will be plenty of interesting talent there. And yeah, this is awesome. FSW, what is that? They present the ID showcase. So a bunch of people will get
I guess it's one of the local Florida indies, but yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, Future Stars of Wrestling, Vegas. So there you go. And they're hosting a ID show. That's all good. Get some shine on them indies. I wonder if we have any more tryout news. I don't think we do. So we can get into like Evolve WWE stuff or NXT stuff rather.
Yeah.
Everything's just working like shit, but we're powering through it. Okay, so on NXT recently, Jada was supposed to jump, but fucked up Blake Monroe's move. So again, these fucking videos aren't working. It's pissing me off. But basically, Blake Monroe, did you guys know the move, the Rampage, where you do a suplex but do like a DDT? She did that for a shoot because this girl, Jada, didn't get up for the suplex. And Blake Monroe, dropped her on her head. And that's her second, fucking... And I'm not saying that exaggeratively. It was nasty. And I don't know, that's her second kind of had a mishap go down. And I'm not hating on Blake Monroe, but hopefully she gets all that together and nobody gets hurt and she doesn't get hurt and everybody stays safe and shit like that. Speaking of NXT and Evolve and whatnot, let's see. NXT will be on Fast Channel. Okay, so you can stream NXT 24/7 on its new Fast Channel on the CW app. And now NXT and TNA both have invisible numbers we can draw from to own fucking Dave Meltzer. He won't look at any of these and go, including these numbers.
Right.
He won't look at any of those and do that, even though it's the same setup essentially as AEW. And I don't know how many people have the CW app or
I do, because I don't. CW is not included in my cord cutter package, so I have to watch it on the app the next day.
Yeah, there you go. And like also with TNA, they really made a name for themselves, or like helped rebrand themselves again on YouTube and through YouTube.
Right,
So,
through the subscription service on YouTube and through Impact Plus. Yeah.
yeah, and I've seen Meltzer saying, well, if you look at the numbers of how many people watch HBO Max and how many people watch like Fast Channel or AMC Plus, you wouldn't factor it in. But it's like, no, dumbass. We see the Nielsen charts. Then by that metric, we could say that TNA's been beating AEW before they even got on AMC, because YouTube, we've shown those charts on the show. YouTube has about 13% of the market share. Warner Bros. WBD has about 1.2% of the market share of fucking streamers or whatever. So if that's how you want to play it, Dave, then TNA's been beating AEW. But again, he just doesn't even pay attention. That shit goes over his head. He doesn't actually study or learn. He fears facts. So I'm not saying the Fast Channel, like, I'm not saying like the fucking the Fast Channel is gonna start outdrawing whatever the fuck, but you guys know what I'm saying. Like,
right.
You know, we could just play that game all day. We could just go fucking, okay, there's 80 billion people watching over there. So former ECW general manager Armando Estrada gave a message endorsing the new NXT GM Robert Stone, who had to relinquish his spot over on Evolve as well, if you guys are into all that.
I never agreed with Evolve having a GM.
Why not?
It's a smaller show. Like the fact that NXT having a GM was kind of because you know that Sean is the booker, and it was just like, you know, it didn't matter the GM was there because Sean would show up on TV whenever the hell he wanted. So like you knew that Ava was only the GM because they needed to give her something to do until her contract was up. Evolve is literally it's an indie. Like for all intents and purposes, it's a TV studio indie. There's no need to have a GM on a show like that.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Oba Femi is listed as a free agent along with Brock Lesnar and Omos. So he's a guy who can just kind of show up wherever until he decides to stay somewhere.
Until he learns how to work.
Oh, man. Or they just play him like a free agent. He's already for it to be him, Omos, and Brock Lesnar, like he's already a special attraction, pretty much is how they're showing you that how they view him and whatnot. Kendall Gray defeated Carmen Petrovich in another successful Evolve title defense.
Kendall and Carmen both already back to the apron, and a kick to the head of this championship.
Locking that in could be a game changer in this match.
Well, instead, Carmen turns it into a pin, which is the perfect way to break up the armbar. Kendall!
Sit out powerbomb!
Could that be enough?
Damn. What do you think of Kendall Gray?
I think she's great. I think that
she's amazing,
you know, that she's honing her stuff well, and she's definitely going to be a star on main TV one day.
Yeah, she's great, man. She's amazing. So in other NXT and whatnot news, the Birthright is this faction consisting of Uriah Connors, who we talked about earlier. That's one of Fit Finley's boys.
That's Brogan,
Charlie,
right?
Yeah, Charlie Dempsey, who is William Regal's boy. Ariana Grace, who is Santino Marella's girl.
daughter.
And then Lexus King, who, of course, is Brian Pillman's kid. And then Channing Stacks Lorenzo. He's not a second gen, is he?
He's not, no.
So he's just in this group, I guess. All right. He'll be the first one kicked out.
He better be. Like, at least they're doing something with Lexus King, but he does not need to still be in NXT. Like,
You don't think?
He got all he was going to get out of NXT already. And I feel like he ends up being Sean's whipping boy more often than not. It's like Sean does whatever he can to purposely fucking hamstring this kid. And the kid's got talent, and the kid doesn't belong in developmental anymore. He learned everything that he's going to and should be on the main roster at this point.
Damn, a lot of people would fucking be like, oh, come on now, JJ. That's not very fair. He's not ready for it. But I'm with you, dude. Lexus King to the main roster. I'm all for that. But hey, he started this new faction, Birthright. And then Ryan Satin was shitting on it because he's a fucking goober.
Mhm.
In other news here, I think that's all the NXT stuff. Then we can get into like Raw and SmackDown and whatnot. So Raw went down. And well, let's do AAA actually. So Undertaker gets his name, executive producers Paul Levesque, Lee Fitting, Mark Calloway
Mhm.
on AAA now. So he's got a heavy hand in that, a heavy influence in that. WWE Raw's War Raiders and Los Americanos will be in action on AAA on Fox next week, facing off with Money Machine in a AAA Tag Team Championship #1 contenders match.
Mhm.
So I don't know if that went down or what, but you guys check that out if you can. In SmackDown news here, the ratings. So the SmackDown ratings should be one to keep an eye on. I don't normally post Fast Nationals, but I'm going to today since they were interesting. And I don't know if there's been an update, but 1.611 million
Yeah.
viewers with a 0.42.
See, I told you those couple of low-rated weeks were an outlier.
I mean, we'll see. Like the Fast Nationals are usually a bit higher than what it actually ends up being. But if
Right, but still.
if you're to listen to like Alfred Kunawa, like someone who knows about that shit, you know, he would tell you like, yeah, that would still be over 1 million if you're looking at like a 1.6 million or whatever. So yeah, you were seemingly right about that. You know what I mean? Okay, the update though, it garnered its best audience since September 5th. Which featured the return of AJ Lee. So it averaged 1.459. So the Fast Nationals were 1.6. It averaged 1.45 or 46.
So
So up 16% from the prior week with a 0.35 in the key demo, up 25%.
And you see, people were all complaining. They're like, you see, you put the belt on Drew and people stopped watching. Like, no, it just took a couple of weeks to get back to where it was because pre-tapes.
Yeah, exactly. And then now they're on Sci-Fi, I think, tomorrow and the next
And
week.
the following week because the Olympics, yeah.
Oh, those are going to be brutal ratings that we're going to have to deal with.
You're
Sicko
probably,
retards fucking.
yeah, it's probably going to be around like 750 to 850K. That's usually
We're
what
going to have
happens.
to deal with just mental illness on the fucking timeline. I'm staying off Twitter. So moving along here, AAA. Yeah, so, you know, Lola Vice, they won the mixed tag. Lola Vice and your
Mr.
boy
Iguana.
Iguana there. In other news, I just want to cover all the TV stuff, then we'll get into the juicies. Okay, yes, this is what I wanted to go over with you guys. So this cutter went down on Raw, the slow motion view here of the OG cutter.
This is absolutely
Americano and fucking Javon. It was timed so beautifully. It was so sick. Now, I will say, everybody does cutters, super kicks, spears. It's getting kind of annoying, but when you can fucking hit that, like Randy can't do that, so
Right.
you got to
That
do it with someone.
Javon is the one that's going to be slated to take Randy's spot once Randy is done.
Yeah, and take that finish, you know?
Yeah.
But they just both flew through the air, hit a crazy cutter, and then you literally saw sickos online crying about it.
Uh-huh.
Why would this be fucking It's just like
he
bro,
was in Tony's grasp, and Tony didn't know what the fuck he had.
they'd be coming in their pants if fucking, you know, someone Pac did that to fucking Osprey or something, you know?
Even if he was still, he worked a few darks. Tony had him.
Mm-hmm. So last Monday, featuring CM Punk, Roman Reigns promo battle garnered the second most views for the show since the Post-Mania episode in April. It scored 3.1 million views globally for the week, 5.8 million hours viewed. The show ranked number 5 for the week in U.S. on Netflix, up from 6, and 6 globally unranked. Year over year, views were even, while total hours viewed were down 5%. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Rumble show and ranked number 3 for the week in US and 7 globally. It's always number 1 in Canada, so I don't know. Globally, that's the global average, right? But in a bunch of these countries, it's still number 1.
Yeah.
And so here, yeah, let's here.
Well, I
got
had
a
to
super
contend
chat
with
here.
that the dude climbing the skyscraper or some shit.
Wolverine DX for 5 says JJ's killing me tonight. He destroys people left and right. I know, it's so funny. Hope you fully recover, Phil. Thank you, sir. I'm feeling great. Honestly, I am. I'm great. Caught it since Monday, and I'm still not out of the woods. Yeah, I think I got it around Monday as well, and then I'm duking it out. I think like by tomorrow, I should be pretty well all good, just in time to slug some beers for V-Day with my wife. No, just we're gonna go. We're going to the theater and stuff like that. And yeah, thank you so much for your support, dude. I appreciate that a lot. Okay. We have lots to get to. Wow. So Ricochet reportedly infuriated a lot of people in WWE after he publicly stated the company ruined his legacy. And this is
don't say.
Right, but this is according to fucking Dave, though, as well. And it's like, Dave, why are you fucking
the
trying
young
all the time? Like, just to say
superstar,
shit you don't
babyface, that former heel thing. So.
And Hurricane says, I saw people kicking babies.
That was so
on
great.
Fire. Gorilla monitors were smashed to pieces. It was a fucking calamity.
I love Shane so much.
I know, man. He always just claps back at that
Dude,
shit. It's like,
he
it's
is
so dumb.
He is such a hilarious son of a bitch. Like, there's stories I can't tell on here about Shane Helms.
Yeah. Yeah. So Chelsea Green has confirmed that she suffered a foot injury on last night's SmackDown, says it was almost career ending and near fatal.
I
Obviously,
think that was cover for her travel issues not getting to Mexico.
Is that what it is? I mean, her ankle looks swollen as fuck there.
It does, but I think it's because because they said like that's why they had La Hiedra fill in with Ethan Page for the tag titles to drop to Lola Vice and Mr. Iguana.
Yeah.
But I think she's all right. I think there was travel issues, so they just played it off as an injury.
Damn, because that shit looks pretty swollen. I've rolled my ankle up and shit before. Yeah, and it's fucking tough, It's like it swells up like that. So hopefully she's all good. In other body news, I guess Montez Ford goes viral as WWE fans debate his body change after NXT, and so he made an NXT appearance for like a house show or something, but he's not all like ripped like he normally is. He was kind of got the dad bod vibe going on. I don't know if he's just been home taking care of Bianca, what's going on, if he's like,
probably
fuck it. If he's just like, fuck it, I'm just not going to put the effort in because I'm demoralized not being used and pushed, or if he's like, fuck it, I'm just going to switch things up, like I'm done being shredded, I'm going to loosen up a bit and just get bulkier, but yeah, people were kind of roasting him.
I think that he's been staying home to help take care of Bianca, and in the midst, he hasn't been going as hard up on the home gym. And they called him up and were like, "Hey, can you do a fill-in on this NXT house show?" And he went, "Sure." But he's obviously not in main TV form. When they get the call and say, "Listen, we need you back in X amount of weeks," I guarantee you he will be shredded again.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm willing to bet it too. I hope he's not like demoralized and like not trying to fucking like be a part of WWE as far as like on the same boat as everybody, headed in the right direction and all of that, because he does have potential, but I think he's got to go after it. I think the private party, not private party, pardon me, that's racist. The street profits, they need to fucking tell Triple H or someone like, look, we want to split up. And I know that Montez said that he would never do that to Angelo, but it's like, you gotta do it, man. Like, I'm not saying he's gonna be the next The Rock. I actually think Dawkins will get a better like heel singles run out of it, but I don't know. They just need to split up. They need to freshen it up, man. They can't keep staying in this rut like that they're in,
Yeah, because it is a major rut. But like, I don't know. Like, I feel like I think Montez is going to stick in that spot until Dawkins is just like, all right, dude, I'm kind of hanging it up. Go fly free. Like, I feel like that's the only push that he's going to take to be like, all right, now I'll try to be a singles again. Because I mean, he had that nice little bit where they tried pushing him as singles for a little bit, and he was in the Elimination Chamber match and shit. But I think he also may feel a little disheartened because his whole thing was like, look at how high I can fly, and now here comes Javon Evans, and he's just like, They got a younger version of me over here.
Yeah, maybe. So AJ Styles' choice to retire at the Royal Rumble, it came after he and WWE were in discussions around a new deal that was not locked in ahead of the PLE. The two sides are still discussing his future with WWE, but it is unknown if a new deal has been signed. Once his deal expires, he would be free to work wherever he likes, but there has been no rumblings that he will be returning to the ring, according to PWI. And I just don't think he's returning to the fucking ring. I don't think he's going to.
No.
I think he's just going to hang him up. I think there might be another AJ update here. AJ Styles and WWE have discussed a new deal, but as the Royal Rumble got closer and that was not locked in, the decision was made to go with the Gunther match. The two sides are still discussing his future. And yeah, he would be free to listen to offers from elsewhere, but there haven't been rumblings heard of that anytime soon. So Mike Johnson just sort of reiterating what the initial report said. Speaking of injuries, Braun Breaker, and this is according to Dave, Breaker reportedly could be out of action for 12 weeks or at worst up to 6 months following hernia surgery. And all he did was Google fucking how long is a hernia, like after hernia surgery, because that's such a big window, 12 weeks to 6 months. He doesn't actually know. Dave doesn't actually know shit. But Braun Breaker might actually, like, he is hurt. He's sidelined. He's undergoing surgery for a serious hernia, which is no good. But if he's not on the WrestleMania 42 card, then that's pretty fucked up for like what you've been building to. What?
He won't be.
What, and you're happy about that? That's sick and twisted.
I'm not happy that he's injured. I'm just saying to the entire world, I fucking told you so. I said this fucker was getting pushed too hard, too fast, and he was going to fuck something up, and he did.
Well, he hurt himself, man. Injuries happen. You can't premeditate or plan that shit.
No, you can't, but you can when you act like a fucking idiot fucking meathead all the time. And he was injured before the fucking Rumble, and that's why they did that fucking takeout spot at the beginning. And then they had him throw the fit the night after, and they tried to play it off that, oh, he got the hernia wrecking the desk. No, he was hurt before the fucking Rumble.
Maybe. But yeah, I don't get where the Braun Breaker hate comes from, but you know what? That's why I like you. So, yeah, that was that injury there. What happened? Yeah, Roman Reigns popped a fucking big ass number. We talked about that. So, in other announcements, oh no, everything disappeared. Oh no, I've gone cross-eyed. Oh no, I'm blind. I've been blinded. So, Brock Lesnar's announced for WWE Raw in Atlanta coming up. Okay, so we know that that's going to pop a number, and we know that he's going to be at a fucking Raw leading up to everything on the road to WrestleMania, which I'm pumped for this year's Manias, man. Speaking of WrestleMania, we're going to circle back to Mania in just a little bit. We had a couple of legends here, though, announce some things, so about Raw. So Stone Cold is also announced for WWE World in Las Vegas. They announced that on Raw, and they're like, we're definitely getting a match from Stone Cold. I don't think he was there for the Hall of Fame, and we didn't get a match either when he was there with Brett. So
he's just there. He I guarantee they're gonna have him ape on the whole ATV crash last year and have him come out in like a jazzy or something so that he can't fucking go that fast down to the ring.
Yeah, and then he'll just like announce the attendance, maybe stunner someone, but it's not going to be like fucking, it's not going to be like he has a full-blown match. It would be cool, but a little bit of a throwback here. Kevin Nash talked about something that went down on a Raw between Triple H and Punk, and Triple H and CM Punk had a beef backstage, and Triple H was like, I'm going to wrestle him, and I'm going to go over on that motherfucker. So just like stories of behind the scenes now, let's take a listen to this. Hopefully it fucking works. Nothing's working today. Now, for some reason, these shits just don't work. Okay, well, we'll talk about that another time, I guess. But fuck's sakes, guys, sorry.
Blame StreamYard, man.
Yeah, I know. I swear to God, that's what it is. Because like, what the fuck all of a sudden happened? And again, when I turned StreamYard on, another new update today on some shit, and I'm like, what? I don't use any of the new updates they roll out ever. Anyways, so we were talking about WWE news here, random this is and that. So Megan Morant is the newest member of the Busted Open Sirius XM Pro Wrestling Nation 24/7. She hosts WWE Now with what's his face. She hosts that show with Sam Roberts. I don't know. Megan Morant, she's okay. I think she might do good shit on Busted Open. Maybe she can express herself a little more freely, but otherwise, like, I don't know. She doesn't really do it for me. You know what I mean? As far as like a backstage or like a commentary interviewer type person, whatever. Exactly. So talking WWE business here, okay? WWE scaled back on allowed ticket comps as tickets are in higher demand. This has been in effect for over a year. At least one top star had encouraged a number of talent to work it into their contract if they were complaining about it. Several have worked them into their deals now, and many expect it to be a standard request. So what do you make of that, dude? When you get when you sign a deal, you got to be like, hey, and I need 10 comps per PLE and 5 comps per whatever show if I need them on select shows as part of my deal. Like, that's weird, man.
I mean, it's not that much to ask.
I agree.
You
But
know,
to have to work it into your contracts, like legally, so that you can get them, because otherwise, like, yeah, if you ask for comps and they're like, nah, they're in high demand. Okay. If you ask for comps and then they typically give them to you. Okay. But now it's like going forward, people are going to just start working the comps into their deals. So if you're on the come up, you're kind of fucked in that regard, you know?
Right. Well, I mean, if you're in the come up, like, you really don't want to work that into you, because like you're coming on a main TV, you're a low man on the totem pole. When it's time for your first renegotiation, then I can see throwing it in to be like, all right, now I've worked, I've done my first 2 years. Now I know I'm signing a 2 to 3 year extension. Okay, now I'd like to be able to have my family to come to at least Mania. Especially because you want that worked in so your family can be there in case you're about to get booked for some major angle, and they can do the whole, her mother's at ringside, his dad's at ringside, his grandfather beat cancer and is here to see him win the big one. You want to be able to have that. It's synergy. So in that case, it's not that bad. I don't see someone come and be like, all right, I need at least 5 tickets for every PLE throughout the year. No, that's never going to happen.
Yeah, because that would just like, obviously you wouldn't have each fucking PLE as part of it, right. But a number of locations, speaking of PLEs, man, WrestleMania is coming up, and all the dirt sheets can do is fucking doom and gloom it, and doom and gloom about it, and shit on it, and hate on it, and talk about how bad it's going to be. And Dave couldn't wait to be like, Breaker won't be there, and like fucking, it's expensive, and Las Vegas, no one wants to buy tickets and all this shit. So according to Fightful, a number of locations in Vegas have been told they may be unable to broadcast WrestleMania this year, even if they pay a licensing fee. Those locations communicated frustration as they believe the city paid a site fee to encourage tourism. Now, that's true. If WWE's reaching out to people to try and bring in more ticket sales by saying like, no, you're not allowed to play it here, so that it encourages people to file in last minute and try and get into WrestleMania.
Right.
I mean, that's bullshit, honestly, if WWE's doing that. But are they doing that? Like, a number of locations in Vegas have been told they may be unable to use. So,
right.
A number of locations told Fightful that they may not be able to, or they may be unable to, right? So like, they may or may not be able to fucking show it. That's what we haven't decided yet, but just warning you, we might not let you show it.
That feels like 2 low-level bars talk to SAP, and we're like, yeah, we're not sure if we can get it or not. And he was like, multiple sources have said blah blah blah, because that's how they fucking works that shit.
Yeah, I just don't. I just don't know, man.
Let's just
seems sketchy to me.
It is. It's very. It's sketchy, and that's weird dirt sheet reporting. But I mean, number one, they always try to doom and gloom this with like Mania's not moving tickets. Mania moves X amount of tickets on the pre-sale, and then and then the sales ramp up within the 3 weeks before the event once the full card has been announced. Especially because Mania, it's Mania with the whole 2-night thing is, some people don't want to go to the first night because they're like, well, they're saving the good shit for Sunday night. And that's why you really have to balance out the card. That's on a whole booking thing. But the other thing is Vegas in general, the reason Vegas is paying them so much to come back was because it was a boom last year for them, and Vegas's tourism is down across the board. I have friends that live in Vegas, and Vegas's tourism is down across the board for several reasons. One, because a lot of the multinational conglomerates that own businesses in Vegas have gotten super fucking greedy, and on top of it, the local businesses that are independently owned have started getting super greedy because everyone else is getting super greedy, and on top of that, the entire hospitality business has not come back since COVID. Like there's people who were laid off during COVID who never got their jobs back, who worked in the hotels and shit like that. So, and then just the overarching bit that, unfortunately is a matter of this is Las Vegas doesn't have a lot of outside of American tourism because no one wants to come to America right now. And that's not political at all. That's the fucking truth.
Yeah, it's the truth, man. And that could be a huge factor in it as well. And I don't think doing Mania back-to-back 2 years in a row in the same place is ever a good idea.
This feels like Mania 4 and 5 at Trump Plaza.
I just don't think that's ever a good idea. And I think that if they had did this in the fucking Yukon and Punk, that's like a huge match.
Mm-hmm. That'll close out night 2.
AJ Styles could come back for a one-off as well. I mean, let's not be real about it. He could just come back, wrestle one match or something. Like maybe he wouldn't do it, but if they threw the money at him, maybe he'd do it.
I think they're setting up for him to be Dragon Lee's corner man for a bit.
Oh, no way. A cornerman?
Because they had the 4-way match for a contenders match that they had in AAA this past week. At one point, Dragon Lee popped out the Styles Clash during it, and the whole crowd started chanting AJ Styles. So I think, and that coupled with how he went after Gunther the night after Gunther retired AJ, I think they're gonna have AJ come back as a manager role for just a couple of months, not a long-term thing.
So this week, WWE held an all-departments meeting addressing lower than expected ticket sales for WrestleMania, according to Fightful. An all-hands-on-deck emergency meeting. Las Vegas bars blocked from airing WWE WrestleMania 42 in an attempt to boost ticket sales.
No, it was a meeting of, hey, this is where I guarantee it wasn't like a emergency all hands on deck. It was all right, we're X amount of weeks out. This is going to be our plan of attack on local marketing. It was a run of the mill, get everyone who works in these departments together. And this is the plan of attack. It's typical corporate nonsense.
So the Super Bowl, speaking of corporate nonsense, the Super Bowl went down, and Becky Lynch, Seth Rollins, and Kofi Kingston in attendance there. Logan Paul got booed when he was shown on screen. And hopefully, these videos just fuck around and don't be working. And then he got into it with Tom Brady about good athletes and NFL players and all of this stuff. And he's like, nobody could hit a moonsault like me to the outside of the ring and all this shit. And Tom Brady, Logan Paul would probably beat the shit out of him and is probably way more athletic than Tom Brady. But Gringo Loco could fucking hit that springboard moonsault, dude. People can hit those moves.
I'm
there's a reason people leave football than go to wrestling and not the other way around. Unless you're Brock Lesnar.
I'm almost positive during COVID WrestleMania, Gronk nailed that fucking move.
Yeah, so and it's not to shit on Logan Paul or wrestlers. Like I love wrestling so fucking much, but it's just a matter of like reality here. Like some of the NFL players are just insane other level athletes.
Yeah. I also
And,
think
Logan Paul's a tremendous athlete, but it's just like there so much more goes into football than just like fucking sprinting. People don't realize that. So
Right. I also think that the reason Logan got booed at the Super Bowl, I mean, number one, it's because he's Logan Paul and a lot of the outside world doesn't like him. But I guarantee some of the crowd saw and thought it was his brother Jake, which was why they were really booing, because Jake Paul had to shoot his fucking mouth off on Twitter about about how much of a disgrace the halftime show was going to be. And as much as I don't like Logan, I will commend the fact that he came out and was like, I don't side with my brother on this.
Well, it's fucked because earlier in the day or like the day before, he was on a red carpet and they asked him like, "Are you excited for Bad Bunny's Super Bowl show?" And he was like, "No." But then on Twitter, he came out and had Bad Bunny's back.
I didn't know about the red carpet.
No. But the thing is like, I think they're teasing a fucking match, and I think it blew up. Like, I think everybody figured it out too, like clued in, because I mean,
well, that was
he buries him and then he had his back because he's trying to be real, but also at the same time, like he's not trying to have his match blown up or whatever the fuck. So
because that was supposed to be the plan at Saturday night's main event back when it was him and Jelly Roll. That was originally supposed to be Logan and Bad Bunny.
Yeah, so I think, are you excited for Bad Bunny Logan Paul? Do you think that'd be a good match?
Listen, they can both do the moves. That's great. I have an issue with Logan Paul not knowing how to fucking sell. And that's his major, like, okay, yes, he can do the moves. He can run the ropes. He looks like a natural, except he can't fucking sell to save his fucking life. And that's his major problem. Bad Bunny, great. He learned the moves. That's great. I don't appreciate the fact that a dude in his opening match does a Canadian Destroyer on the outside. Like, look, anybody can do this. That's what that put forward. I love Bad Bunny, but that was a bad move to do. So,
I think,
sure, have them work each other. It'll be a nice choreographed gymnastic spectacular. I'll go take a piss.
I just think that you need somebody in there to be like the ring general in that match. Right. You need somebody to be like the leader of the dance. And I don't think Logan Paul is quite would be able to lead Bad Bunny through a great match, but maybe he'll shut me up and prove me wrong. I hope he does. But yeah, just with the whole NFL thing and they went back and forth. None of these fucking videos are working. Tom Brady and Logan Paul. And basically, what happened was Logan Paul was sort of making fun of the fact of like, football player moves and this and that. But Tom Brady just said, look, some of these athletes, it's cute what you do. And it kind of offended some people. I don't know. It's just objectively, some of those athletes in the NFL are just insane. And again, you don't go from pro wrestling. You can't get hurt in pro wrestling and then go and become like a top NFL player, but you can get hurt in the NFL and then become a pro wrestler and get to the top of the card. That's very possible. So that, ladies and gentlemen, was WWE News. Let me see here. Sauce Inc. says, all hail the Illuminati. We need Jericho. Only 61 likes, 168 watching. Do Sunday show. I want PWT for my 41st birthday. No Surrender is tomorrow. Oh, so I was wrong. So is No Surrender up against Grand Slam on Valentine's Day? What are they doing?
No Surrender's tomorrow. No Surrender's a Friday night. You're skipping a day.
Sorry, tomorrow. Sorry, guys. I've had the fucking flu. I am like a day. Yeah. My days are all messed up. Okay. So Friday night is No Surrender. That rules. And then fucking the AEW show, which I'll have to watch. So Yeah, god damn it, so much wrestling to get in.
I know, dude. It's Valentine's Day. Do something nice with your wife.
Oh, I am absolutely. That's why it's like I don't know when I'm gonna watch this shit. Maybe Sunday I'll just cram it all.
Oh, okay.
In.
All right. I
Yeah,
thought you meant like
know
you
what
were
I'm
gonna
saying?
watch and stream. Like, no, don't do that.
No, fuck
do not
no.
give
No.
up
I already
Valentine's
told
Day
the-
for fucking AEW.
No. That's what Sauce was saying. He's like, please stream on Sunday because I'm not streaming on fucking Valentine's Day, dude. Yeah, what the fuck? No, dude, I'm not that much of a sicko. I just fucking. I'm not that fucking sickily obsessed with wrestling, but it's like, when am I gonna fit it all in? You know, when am I gonna? Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here. Check out my guy JJ Alexander on X at JJ_Alexander. Check him out at Full Circle Radio on YouTube. Check out the Patreon. Oh yeah, NordVPN right now. The deal is get up to 73% off and an Amazon gift card using the link. Make sure you guys use that shit. And I appreciate you all. Thank you for being here. And I'll see you all tomorrow for Dave Meltzer Dumb Moment of the Week, Time Cop. But also Sunday, I might pop in for a live show. It depends how I'm feeling. Okay, guys? And then, but I probably will. JJ, anything else you want to plug? Is there anything else you got going on?
I'm appearing on Toonie Talk Wrestling on next Tuesday. So tune in there. I just did an episode of This Is Awful this past Saturday. I won Awful Jeopardy Tournament of Champions. There was ever any doubt. Also over on the Full Circle Radio Network. Tomorrow morning, we drop the next episode of Cinematic Jackass. We just recorded it last night. Me and the boys from Wildcard Cinema did a full watch along of the 1978 Australian exploitation film Stunt Rock. So you can watch that starting around noon tomorrow, and the next episode of Wildcard Cinema will get recorded on Monday. And I'm trying to get Matt back to actually do another episode of White Heat. He's kind of been ghosting me, but now that it's Mania season, hopefully he'll swing back in.
Excellent. Well, ladies and germs, I've been Phil Marks. Be good to yourselves. Take care of yourselves. Don't get the flu. Peace and love. I'll see you guys.